And welcome back, everybody, to Seasonalander Day 2. I am Eki in the booth with BBL and Gray on production. This is the playoffs day, so we're going to be looking at the lower bracket final and the upper bracket final for this Highlander event. We have some different map orders today. We're going to be seeing Neotropic a little bit more. I think that's a guaranteed map, no matter what. That will be the second map or first map, if I'm
Pretty
not
sure that's
mistaken.
Decider. Sorry for popping in.
Oh, is it the Decider now?
Yeah, we're still doing Decider due to the frame rate issues, from my understanding. But yeah,
Oh,
also
right,
happy to be here, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, we're still, going that charity for the Starlight Children's Foundation. Gives the opportunity for a stress-free recovery for children in the hospital. Personally, I wish I had this when I had to go get my cataract surgery when I was much, much younger. Because being in the hospital, not fun. Very stressful, especially when you are a child. So if you are able, I highly encourage you to donate to the charity. There is a link in the bottom right corner of your screen and a QR code in the top left. You can also type !donate to get a direct link to the Tiltify campaign and see if you're able to send some cash their way. But I believe the beginning match for today, if I'm not mistaken, will be the Amazing Digital Mercs and the Wholesome Chunguses duking it out on, correct me if I'm wrong, but Conveyance Cough for our first map.
Indeed, yeah. I was gonna say these two teams. Well, I mean, unfortunately, they lost when it comes to the Amazing Digital Mercs. Unfortunately, they got swept last game. Hopefully, we could see something a little more competitive this time around. But the Wholesome Chunguses took it to the third map in that second match yesterday that went down to the wire. So I mean, I'm expecting a really good match, definitely coming up here. I was gonna say, when it comes to the rosters, you wanna do the Amazing Digital Mercs? I take the Chunguses.
You know what? If if the spreadsheet would load for me, I would love to.
I can do Amazing Digital Mix, then I can go first, sure. Because I was gonna say that's also first on screen. So first off, we got Scout, we got Freddy 210 Hill on Scout, G Magnum on Soldier, Sholel on Pyro, Scary Broccoli on Demo, Pale B on Heavy, Engineer Gaming Live on Engineer, Toasty Jakey on Medic, Paul Purr on Sniper, and Mayabon on Spy. And then for the Wholesome Chunguses, Eki, you got the spreadsheet working?
It's slowly loading. There it is. I got it open. So, Wholesome Chunguses, your scout will be Lappy, your soldier will be C Ravioli. Looks like we have Risemonger subbing in on Pyro for Great Blue. The demo will be Fountain Man, your heavy will be The What. Your engineer will be Crom, your med will be Cole, your sniper will be Fish Stick on a Stick, and your spy will be Raw.
Yeah, no, but looking at these two teams again, yesterday, looking at so first off, the Amazing Digital Mercs, the first team we talked about, it was a lot of the Scary Broccoli show, but unfortunately they couldn't really support them too well. I know that was one of the things that they were going to be working on as combo coordination. So hopefully, I mean, if he's still able to maintain 700 DPM as we saw like in that first half of the first map, and players can play around him a little better, I think we definitely see a much more competitive game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And then when it comes to the Wholesome Chunguses, they don't really have like a super like standout player. They're all very like solid on their own aspects, very like well-rounded. So very interested to see how each of these teams play on Conveyance. Conveyance was the map that the Chunguses were able to take though. So I'm very, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a good match. I know each team has 9 in servers, so it should be starting relatively soon. I know we're slightly behind on schedule, but that's all right. We're going to make the best of it.
Yeah, I mean, schedule delays happen. What can you do? We're just here to make the most of it and provide some good quality casting entertainment. And I think we're going to be able to deliver despite the delays. Again, your first map here will be Conveyance between the Amazing Digital Mercs and the Wholesome Chunguses. We saw these teams duking it out the other day, as you mentioned earlier. And unfortunately, man, I'm struggling to remember which team won because it was like a 10-minute, there was like an 11-minute hold on
Oh, for
last for payload.
Divulgence? Yeah, so
Yeah.
for that second match there between the Wholesome Chunguses and Doki Doki Fight Club, which we'll see in the winners bracket, sort of the grand finals of the event, so to speak, the Wholesome Chunguses had like an 11-minute defense, but weren't able to push last. A solid 5 minutes for them to be able to push last. If they were able to do that, they would have won the match, but they just got stalled over and over again, weren't able to overcome the JPEG heavy on cart. So when we go over to Divulgence, their offense is definitely going to be the theme that I hope they improve on. If they're able to do that, they definitely could take that map. But yeah, very, very much the issue was last and not being able to deal with the heavy Uber at the end there. Their medic was able to kite over and over again, and they couldn't deal with JPEG. So took to map 3, and then they Doki Doki Fight Club was able to win Neotropic. So but I was going to say, yeah, I'm hoping both of these teams are able to give us a good showing. I mean, I'm expecting a good game. I definitely think these two can go back and forth.
I think this is going to be one of the more back and forth games that we see today. These two teams definitely know how to play around the point. They know how to play certain advantages as well. I don't think they're going to be skipping out on pushing on like a player ad. I think they're gonna want to kind of just throw themselves at the point. But yeah, we are live. First round here. We'll go to you. Give the stream your lovely play-by-play.
Yeah, sure, we could go with it. I mean, no one's immediately died yet. It seems like a relatively slow mid, but G Magnum being the first pick, unfortunately, for the Amazing Digital Mercs, they're still relatively able to play around the point as Fountain Man goes down in the background. They should be able to push relatively easily. The Chunguses are all kind of sitting in the house here, so if Scary Broccoli landing 1 or 2 sticks is going to be able to do absolute nuclear damage to the combo, as they're able to just maintain point control. The Chunguses aren't really denying much, and they're gonna very easily take the point. A couple of players, especially the Spy, try and go in to get Toasty Jakey after the fact, but very, very easy mid from the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. Drop happening in the background to Cole, by the way, as I'm trying to talk. Immediately dying there to Scary Broccoli. Amazing stick from him.
Yeah, 95% Uber drop there. Not ideal. Scary Broccoli just very, very nicely placed Sticky there. Is going to be able to net his team that full Uber ad. Jakey here, we were seeing yesterday, was struggling a little being able to maintain that Uber. They're still a little bit new to the format of Highlander, but that said, that Uber is going to come out from the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs. They're going to run forward and are going to be able to net a couple picks for it, but as it fades and they retreat, they're actually only behind by about 20 Uber. They could very easily continue this forward hold that they've got going for them. We do have Mayabon looking to get in from behind, but it looks like C Ravioli also going to be getting taken down. Broccoli now dying. That kind of opens it up for the Wholesome Chunguses to push through.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really liking this forward hold here. Scared Broccoli did go down in the background, so it looks like they shouldn't be able to hold onto it for too much longer, having to give them room in Valley, but that's one of the key things in Highlander. If you're able to maintain that aggressive forward hold, keep them down a couple of players. G Magnum almost getting the Market Garden on Cole, but isn't able to convert it, unfortunately, as Cole is still at 30 ad. We'll see how they take it through Valley, but again, I'm a huge fan of that hold.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of that hold. They bought themselves over a minute and a half worth of time in doing so, and especially with that really nice Uber they took into the face of the Wholesome Chunguses. They are going to get Uber again, and with that player ad, especially having Raw down, they're going to be counter-popping as the Wholesome Chunguses try and take something into them. It is looking significantly better in terms of the Uber length for the Amazing Digital Mercs, so they're going to be able to run away. They know about Lappy in behind, and they are going to try and take them down, but does it look like they're going to be successful? Yes, they find Engineer Gaming. They will take down the Telly as well, slowing down the reinforcement speed for the Amazing Digital Mercs, and now they're kind of on the back foot ever so slightly. They have to regroup and try and go for some kind of refight to take the point back, but the Chunguses have to hold for a very, very long time if they want any hope of getting in the lead.
Yeah, like I've mentioned yesterday, if you're down this much time, you really have to slow down and try and, play off those stagger picks, try and keep them permanently down 1 or 2, so they can't have a full push. Raw going down in the background is going to make that a little more difficult, but G Magnum going down to Fountain Man should, even out the playing field, so to speak, 8-all, as the Amazing Digital Mercs are trying to take point time, but they are at 50% disad, so we'll see if the Chunguses are able to take a decent Uber ad into them, try and possibly get Toasty Jakey, who's having to back up. But again, relatively decent pressure and poking coming from the side of the Amazing Amazing Digital Mercs, trying to get their Uber out and keep Toasty Jake alive for the post. And they're able to cap without Cole even using in the first place. They're just sitting in the house. Uber's finally coming out, though, on the side of the Chunguses. Toasty Jake is able to surf out, and it looks like he's going to be able to live here for the repush.
Yeah, the repush is on the table here for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try and walk back in off the Uber advantage that they have. Engineer Gaming going to be able to find C Ravioli, and with Risemonger going down, that kind of opens it up for the Amazing Digital Mercs to continue walking over the point, even after their Uber has long since faded. Especially getting Cole there, that's going to give them the opportunity to get some kind of Uber ad and scare away any prospects of trying to push back forward with confidence, really, for the Wholesome Chunguses. Mayabon is in behind, though. She has decloaked, will be able to find the kill onto Fish Stick on a stick, and or Shromp as their alias as. Risemonger trying to push over the point, will not be able to get anything for it. Does give enough of an opportunity for Raw to get in and take down Pale B. Does look like the Wholesome Chunguses have an opportunity to maybe come back here.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the Chunguses, well, currently they're down 4, possibly even 5. Cole going down in the background very late there. So if I'm on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, I'm trying to capitalize off of that as soon as humanly possible. As we see them slowly coming out through Valley. Scout trying to get behind on the side of Lappy, but they seem to not be able to really get anyone. Possibly the Sniper, though, in the background. So they are able to at least convert that, causing the push to be slower. But full ad on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs should, as long as this Uber doesn't get absolutely scuffed, not dropping to that Spy. Very good play from the side of Medic. Shalil going down in the background, though, is going to make this Uber solo on Scary Broccoli, and he isn't really getting much with it.
Yeah, not a lot is being found with this Uber. Broccoli is trying to at least catch out C Ravioli, and with the help of his team, will get the bottle kill. So I believe that is the first melee kill, not counting the spies of this game. The Amazing Digital Mercs has a lot of time to play with here. 59 seconds on the clock. Now with Raw dead, they don't have to worry about spy time. Shulil going to be able to find that pick there. Pale B going down as well. Very unfortunate for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, but I think they're going to be able to make something work off of it anyway. They are down about 20% Uber here, about 25, looking to try and get in. Players are pretty even on either side, but the positioning for the Mercs is significantly worse, and they're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And I think Pale B is actually gonna go down here, so looks like we're gonna have to see some kind of exchange happen over the point.
Yeah, Cole immediately using there, and Scary Broccoli's Medic Toasty Jakey does pop as a result. Not much happening with the Ubers here, as Shrump did go back down in the background. Paul Purr also getting traded out for Rasa. No Sniper is in the fight as the Amazing Digital Mercs are able to cap. The Chunguses went way too far back, and they lost the point, so now it's going to be going overtime in the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, but being down 5 in the background, including Toasty Jakey and Scary Broccoli, is going to allow the Chunguses to be able to cap. Being down only Fountain Man and Crumb, this should be a relatively easy hold. 10 seconds left remaining on the timer for the Chunguses, so something's going to have to happen as Pale B just gets thrown into the river in the background and absolutely just gets thrown into the pit. 0 seconds in the background, and first round's going to be going to the Chunguses. Double overtime.
Yeah, very well played from the Wholesome Chunguses there, managing to come back from a very, very large deficit. I do want to point out we actually have crossed the $2,000 barrier for donations to the Starlight Children's Foundation. Big donation from an anonymous source, 122 clams and 30 cents, and the simple message of a heart. And $1 from Tilly as well, saying hello. Hi, Tilly.
Yeah, no, amazing that we're only less than $500 away from the goal already. I definitely think we can hit that by the time this game ends. This is a very slow fight. G Magnum, again, is going to be the first death as the Amazing Digital Mercs are trying to play this really slow, kind of baiting them into the point a little bit to see if they can sort of clump up a little bit, and Scary Broccoli can do massive damage onto the combo, and that's what it looks like he's trying to do. Paul Purr and Mayabon going down in the background means no picks on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, but this is a very slow mid-fight coming from the side of both teams. It looks like the Chunguses are going to be able to cap the point, but Ubers are going to be in play very soon here as Toasty Jakey gets Uber. We'll see how they want to play it, but being down Scary Broccoli and Pale B means that their entire combo now going down in the background. Toasty Jakey's going to have to back up, and no, the Chunguses slowly being able to edge out the point there and able to cap it relatively comfortably, not really losing many people in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the strategy from the Amazing Digital Mercs to hold on to their Uber, at least until they got their players, was well thought out. But unfortunately, they're just going to get stuffed by Risemonger. And, you know, they get the Uber out from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. That is, you know, something to look forward to. They actually have player ad, which I did not notice until just now. A lot of stickies behind Toasty Jakey, though, just walking over top of them. Somehow they don't get death, though, by some miracle. Toasty Jakey's just running away, getting chased by Lappy here. Lappy will die to the sentry, and by some miracle, again, we're seeing Jakey survive the onslaught of damage being thrown at him. But, yeah, it does seem like the Wholesome Chunguses will be able to maintain control at this point. We're all going to find Shalil and Paul! Holy moly!
Amazing steps coming from the side of it. That big earner is definitely doing work. There is, I mean, Ubers are at 70%, so we haven't seen them just yet, but this push is going to be null and void based off of those 2 picks, it looks like. Going to be really difficult, but I mean, I could be standing corrected as Fountain Man and Sea Ravioli both go down, so no explosives from the side of the Chunguses, as a bunch of spam is coming out from the demo and Heavy having to go on the point. Cole doesn't have Uber yet, so the Amazing Digital Mercs don't see Jakey dropping the fish on a stick! Unfortunate, being way too far up on the point! That is going to be horrible. Cole also does go down as well, so neither medic is alive, but, I mean, you capped, but at what cost?
Yeah, I mean, you went through all that effort. You got the nice shot onto Jakey, but in that same vein, you failed to protect your own beam, so you lose all of that, you know, advantage you had. Granted, Jakey doesn't have a heal target, so they will be at about 20% disad, at least for the time being. But with the Wholesome Chunguses maintaining control at this point with a minute worth of time ad, they're sitting very comfortably. You know, they can kind of just kick back, put their feet up on the coffee table, and relax for at least a little bit. Raw does go down, so they don't have that that force of the spy drawing eyes. Pale B will die, though, on the side of the Amazing Digital Merc. So while they're waiting for her to spawn back up, it does look like we're going to be seeing C Ravioli go in deep and get the bomb onto Paul, securing themselves the sniper pick.
You know, C Ravioli's been doing a lot of work in the background here. I know it hasn't been highlighted too much, but he's been doing great. Shrump going down in the background to Scary Broccoli, though, is going to allow the Amazing Digital Mercs to get on the point and immediately cap. Again, the Chunks is being a little too passive, at least for my liking, allowing them to get onto the point. That would have been an amazing Uber considering how clumped up they were, but they seem to elect to just kind of chill out in the back of Valley here, allowing Toasty Jakey to get Uber as well. Again, playing this really slow, especially considering the Amazing Digital Mercs are down 4. Scary Broccoli is going to be using in, and Cole does use at the end there, so it's going to be a much better Uber. We'll see if Toasty Jakey is able to live. It looks like Lappy's trying to chase Toasty Jakey down. Rock getting the pick in the background! Scary Broccoli lives, but there goes Toasty Jakey, and the Chungus is up a minute, able to cap.
Maintaining control of this cap is absolutely crucial for the Wholesome Chunguses if they want to give themselves the round lead, or the 2-round lead rather, that they so desperately crave, because it seems like they are out to win it. You know, they're in it for the long haul here. They're trying to end this in a quick 2 maps, I think. They're saying, hey, we've already waited long enough. This is our time. We're here to take it home. We do have Raw. Decloaking behind the engineer is spotted. Will have to run away. He's probably going to get taken down here. Yes, he will. Risemonger dying as well. Freddy is the only one dying in this fight here. It looks like C Ravioli will also be going down. Paul getting piped by Fountain Man. Does look like the Wholesome Chunguses are going to have to back up a significant bit here, but they're not giving a lot. They do still have Cole with that Uber. Mayabon looking to get in from behind, is decloaking in that pack area, is going to take it. Running forward, looking to find some picks, and they're going to be able to find the what? Looking to get another, is going to be able to find Lappy here. The push from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses is crumbling as their Uber fades.
Yeah, I was gonna say, amazing play coming out from Mayabon there. She did very, very well getting those 3 picks in the background, which definitely is going to allow the Amazing Digital Mercs to hold on for just a little bit longer, on top of the fact that they have full ad. So we'll see how the Wholesome Chunguses want to try and get Toasty Jakey to force and or drop. They're gonna be slowly walking around the house here. They do have Shromp on the roof, so they have a lot of room. Raw going down in the background is gonna make this a little more difficult, not having those spy comms. And Scary Broccoli is going to be using here. It's going to be a solo on Scary Broccoli, though. The Pyro's denying. Scary Broccoli is kind of alone in the house, not really getting much of anything besides Crumb and Risemonger. So, I mean, the Chunguses are doing really well keeping their medic up. Pyro's trying to go in to kill Cole. 10 HP! Shalil jumping in, getting Cole and getting the med pick. So it looks like the Amazing Digital Mercs are still going to be able to hold on to the point.
Yeah, I cannot believe the amazing digital mercs are able to walk in just like that and maintain control of the point. Probably shouldn't have been able to get away with that, but Shalil is able to get a lot. Oh my goodness, Raw gets the stab onto Jakey! It's brutal! As soon as they get it, it's over. As soon as it began for the side of the amazing digital mercs, the wholesome Chungus is maintaining time ad the whole way through, and Raw's still behind. It's gonna get Engineer Gaming, perhaps?
Unidai gets the pick of G Magnum. 1 second overtime's happening on the point, but it looks like the amazing digital mercs might not be able to get on it. Scary Broccoli almost gets on it, but is dying to Fountain Man. The 6 on the point, it's going to be near impossible to get on the point, and yeah, the wholesome Chunguses are now on map point. I was going to say that the way that they handled cutting that Uber, having their med die to Shalil there, I thought it was going to be relatively easy for the amazing digital mercs to stabilize, but they lose 6 after the fact, basically having everyone second for the medic. Tosi Jakey getting stabbed in the background to Ra is not going to make that any easier. And yeah, we're on match point. Map point, sorry.
Yeah, like you said, map point. So the amazing digital mercs, they have to play this kind of perfectly if they really want any chance of taking home conveyance here. Does look like we have Mayabon trying to get something from behind, but is going to get spotted. Somehow gets away? What is this Houdini tech? Sits still and doesn't get spotted. Pale B tries to peek forward, will eat a lot of damage, so does delay them. Taking a lunch break, is going to get meleeed by Crom. That's just disrespectful.
Is able to get Fountain Man in the background, but unfortunately, amazing plays coming out from Mayabon, but while she's living in the background, the rest of the team's dead. Tosi Jakey and Pulper immediately went down, so that's basically a free mid for the Chunguses here, also being on full ad. So I'm really hoping that a sack wave or, you know, pressuring the point to get Cole to have to use in some form or another happens sooner rather than later. If the amazing digital mercs want to start a comeback here, they need the momentum. Lappy going down is going to make this maybe slightly easier, but Pulper losing the SVS is going to kind of negate that. Raw going down as well. Only a couple of picks from the side of the amazing digital mercs. Trump also is going down as well, so no picks on the side of Uber is coming out. Solo use on Risemonger. Not really going to get much if I had to guess. Probably only a couple of picks. We'll see how the kite goes, though. Losing the heavy and losing the engineer isn't great, but I mean, Tosi Jakey's still alive at 50% Uber. We'll see how this push goes. Fountain Man going down, and looks like they should be able to hold it. Market Garden! Nope. Shalil, great deny from him, but yeah, they're able to cap.
Yeah, they are able to cap that point, so they're not at crazy time disad. It's about a minute. Wait, big bomb coming in from G Magnum. He's able to land a nice rocket onto Cole. Almost bumps them into Mayabon. If they were decloaked, maybe could have got a stab there, but nothing comes out of it. Hasn't been spotted by Risemonger as much as they are spy checking. They know that Mayabon is behind. They know she's there, and they're looking to find that pick, or, you know, just spot them out at least to prevent them from getting anything. But the Uber is going to come out from the side of the amazing digital mercs. They're going to be running over the point here. Mayabon is going to go down. So will Freddy and Pale B, though. Risemonger, the first one to die in that exchange. Sentry going down for the side of the amazing Chunguses. Leveled Sentry, surprisingly enough, from the amazing digital mercs as they run over that point. They're making the time even. Paul going to go down. Nice shot from Strump. It's 4 players alive. I don't really think they're going to be able to hold on to this. It is C Ravioli getting a lot of damage to Tosi Jakey. Crom coming in to finish him off, and yes, they will get the kill.
I was going to say, great set coming in from the Soldier and Engineer. They're realizing that Tosi Jacob is a little left out in the open. Pale B is trying to maybe get something in the background, but a little too forward, in my opinion. Fountain Man's going to be able to clean it up, and being on full ad as well as time being relatively even, so it's definitely looking to be pretty good from the side of the wholesome Chunguses. A lot of aggression, though, coming out from the side of Freddy, trying to see if maybe they could get the force. Mayabon trying to go for the stab, gets the demo. Great pick from the side of Mayabon. Scary Broccoli's going to try. Well, come in the drop from Scary Broccoli onto Cole. They get the point.
That's devastating for the wholesome Chunguses there. You know, it isn't too bad. They still have a little bit of time ad that they can work with while their med spawns. Raw will be able to take down Pale B here, but G Magnum going to take down Crom. Raw going to go down to Scary Broccoli. G Magnum will get traded out by the what here. Looks like it's about even players as Shromp does spawn. Engineer Gaming, Freddy going to go down here. No sentry up for the side of the amazing digital mercs either, so I think that's the signal for the wholesome Chunguses to start pushing forward and try and take as much space as possible. Fountain Man does die to Mayabon, and they are alive looking for the looking for the potentially a telecamp kill or something, but maybe they're just playing Calm Spy here. They know where Cole is. They know that they are at major it's not really major. It's about 30%. You could probably play around that, but Trumpet Ravioli going to go down here. This is probably the signal for the Amazing Digital Mercs to send something.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're trying to walk onto the point, playing off those 3 picks, but it's looking very difficult based off of the heavy and the gun. And Toasty Jake is gonna go down to Raw in the background, as well as Fountain Man collecting 2 more on top of it. Cole is relatively safe here, so unless something happens, they're gonna be on full disside yet again. A little bit of peeky coming out from Pale B as well as Engineer Gaming, but it looks like they're just going to die in the background, not really having anything to pressure off of. I like the pressure, but you need something coming from behind or from the sky, so to speak, to get onto the medic, but a little bit of missed time. Scary Broccoli also going down to Lappy. Lappy and the What do go down, though, off of the back of that. And, I mean, Cole being at full ad, this is looking really good for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. 30 seconds left, 60% ad, level 3 gun does go down in the background, but this is looking like a really solid hold.
Yeah, I think the Wholesome Chungus is here. With that minute worth of time add, this is going to be a solid hold regardless of what happens. Cole is going to have to pop that Uber. It is going to be C Ravioli bombing forward with it, and I believe this is Rise Monger walking in behind as well. They're going to be able to take down the Sentry, so that bolsters their ability to hold 4 players down on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs as they are now looking to take their 90% Uber, make it 100, and run over that point, find absolutely anything they can, and get themselves back in time advantage. They are going to be popping over. Scary Broccoli going to be running forward. Hasn't quite been able to find anything. The Uber's going to be fading here in about a second or two. And as it goes, Risemonger runs forward and pushes them away. The Wholesome Chunguses have not yet capped the point. And as I say that,
it guarded on Toasty Jakey!
Oh my goodness!
That was insane. I apologize for the interruption there, but that was I was not expecting that in the background. 10 seconds left from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, and with the Amazing Digital Mercs being down by 4, they're gonna have to roll out very, very quickly or see if maybe the Soldier or Spike can tap the point to no avail, and the Wholesome Chunguses 3-0 on Convergence.
Yeah, I mean
that market guarded.
I wasn't expecting it either. I mean, all I was looking at the fight, and then I see the outline of C Ravioli just flying in at like Mach 10 straight into Jakey's dome and hits him right over the head with the market gardener. So I mean, I wasn't anticipating that to happen at any point. I really wasn't, but it was a fantastic garden nonetheless, and it really, really made it possible for the Wholesome Chunguses to just steamroll through those final couple seconds.
For sure, and if we're looking at the logs here, Scary Broccoli didn't do 700 damage like he did on last map. He did 800! So we're getting close to the 1,000 DPM mark that I've not seen in at least like 4 or 5 years. Going 35 and 15 with 826 DPM. Top damage from the side of the Chunguses is Fountain Man at sub 500, specifically at 495. But again, just having the next top 4 DPMs are coming from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, being the What, Raw, C Ravioli, and Fountain Man all being above 400. So again, like I said, being a lot more well-rounded, it feels like, in terms of the impact each player is having compared to the Amazing Digital Merc. So, and again, Scary Broccoli top frag, Fountain Man top fragging for the side of the Chunguses. Toasty Jakey dying twice as much as Cole, but yeah, I mean, great play from the side of the Chunguses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to preface, we only have so much time left for today. You know, the way these maps are going, we could have a very quick stream here. We could have a longer one if we get a third map series. But I really do want to emphasize. Again, the link to donate is in the bottom right corner of your screen. There's a QR code in the top left underneath the recent donators. We have a little bit more time to reach our goal of 2,500. We're only $500 away. This is entirely doable if we have some folks who are willing to toss some money over to the Tiltify campaign. You can also do !donate in chat to get a response from a bot and get you the direct link. We had a donation from an anonymous user earlier, threw 122 clams at the cause. So maybe we have some more anonymous users in the chat who would like to throw some clams the charity's way. But yeah, I am pretty excited to go into this second map.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, when it comes to the campaign, I mean, it's definitely something very that I personally care a lot about. I've been dealing with like chronic health issues since I was 13. So I was in like the children's
Mhm.
hospital for like 5 years, basically the entirety of my teenage years, like going in multiple times a week. So seeing people give those that were in similar positions or worse positions compared to mine, that ability to make it a lot easier. Because for me, TF2 was my escape, and having other people be able to have it be a little easier does go a long way in terms of, being able to like keep pushing through those unfortunate circumstances. So less than 500 away, I definitely think we can make it. I was gonna say we're going into the payload map. We are going into, like you said, divulgence. Again, as we saw yesterday, I there's only going to be one half, by the way. Whoever wins this first half does win payload, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Again, I'd say out of the three maps, this one's probably the most interesting to me, possibly my favorite. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see what happens. I'm wondering how the holds are going to develop though compared to yesterday, if at all. Like we saw with the Wholesome Chunguses, their defense was great yesterday. Unfortunately, their offense wasn't as much, so they barely lost the map. But they were able to get like 3-4 minutes off of first. So we'll see if they're able to do it again as they elect to start on defense. So
Yeah, I mean, as we saw, the Wholesome Chunguses, you can only apply so much from Koth to like this kind of hybrid game mode. But with the way the Wholesome Chunguses, when they took the point on Conveyance, and then they locked it down. I mean, they held on to it with every fiber of their being until they were 6 foot under. I think we're going to be seeing a very, very strong hold for this point by the Wholesome Chunguses. I think that they're going to be able to mount a very, very strong defense. I'm interested to see what the amazing digital mercs are going to do for their offense, because we saw them play this map yesterday, as we mentioned earlier, and they struggled a little bit. I think part of it is just because the experience is not all there. It's a new map. Hybrid mode is kind of new to everybody. So I think they're going to be vastly better today than they were yesterday. I think they're going to come at it with a new look, but we're getting rup baited as we have to.
happen. I look up at my screen, I see 3 dots, and I'm like, that's not meant to be there. Also, I noticed that $10 donation from Anonymous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Another 25 there, by the way. I'm telling you, those $10, the $5, $20 do add up over time. So thank you so much for that. I believe we can do it. I definitely think we can do it. Like, show what this community, what good we can do. So config has been re-exec 40 seconds on the setup, and yeah, we'll see how this offense goes for the side of the amazing digital mercs. Wonder if they're on Crits Creek. I'm pretty sure they were the team that ran it last time on offense. They don't
Well,
seem to be.
it
But
looks like Cole actually is on crits,
he was
probably
setting up
to
Crits
set up
Chippies,
some
I
kind
think.
of probably to set up some kind of trap. I don't know if they're not running back to change, so they have a second crits charge ready to go. I'm guessing they're going to be going for some kind of like aggressive hold to just completely, shut down any kind of push that the amazing digital mercs try to do, at least for their first Uber. But in that same vein, the crits will build faster too, so they'll just have more Ubers overall. But we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, being on crits here on defense, I haven't really seen it in a very long time. I've never really been a huge fan of it, but we'll see. You need that drop for it to be even worth it in any way, shape, or form. As the amazing digital mercs are slowly rolling out the right side, trying to play around their sniper, playing around that room. Scare Broccoli is playing very forward, and Tozy taking drops to the bleed, drops to a guillotine. It looks like in the background.
No.
Cole hasn't even used yet. 30 HP. The crits does come out. It's going to be an absolute massacre.
Oh no, this is cyberbullying. This is what your teachers warned you about when you were taking your computer class. This is what they considered to be cyberbullying. I mean, this is just unfortunate for the side of the amazing digital mercs. I think though, with the Ubers finally out of the equation, they'll probably be able to make some kind of headway. We do have Mayabon looking to get in from behind. Does bump Raw though. so they know exactly where they are, and she is going to get caught out. Does look like Lappy will be the one to mop up that kill. Sentry does go down. Broccoli is able to find the stickies to take it out. But Cole is at pretty much 25. Well, it's actually changed to about 20, 15-ish% ad. Still with the crits, though, if they target down the beam, Paul's going to get taken down by the bleed.
Yeah, the great bomb also coming in from G Magnum is almost able to get Trump, and then Mayabon, she's able to finish it off. So good plays from that entire ordeal with the Soldier and Spy. Toasty Jakey goes down at 95% to the crits though for the background from Fountain Man, as well as again yet a 5-man wipe. Gun goes down too. They're back to square one on the offense, and I mean you're gonna have crits out on top of it for the next hold. So I was like, they were slowly edging it out. You just can't drop to the crits at 95%.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I think because their ad dwindled to about like 15, 20-ish. If Toasty Jakey just played a little bit further back, they weren't so aggressive. I mean, granted, getting the positioning right when they're running perma crits like that can be a little awkward. You do kind of expect the beam to go back and swap. But, you never killed them, so you have to expect that they'll be on that same beam. But you just can't be that far forward. You have to play extremely passive, make sure that you're in a position to run away, as Cole is already up on crits, and it's 20% until Jakey gets their next Uber, and Raw is playing Comm Spy, just giving the information that they desperately need.
Yeah, I was going to say, electing to go all the way back to spawn to make sure that they're able to get this Uber, using in through the house, trying to immediately get in on Cole as Cole uses the crits. We'll see if Fountain Man's able to find anyone in the background. Does get Paul Per and Engineer Gaming, but Trump and Risemonger going down. Kills coming for both sides, as it seems like this is going into the favor of the defense here, of the side of the Chunguses. Being down 4, though, and having longer spawns is going to make this difficult, as Shalil's trying to cap. Lappy's trying to get on Toasty Jakey here. It looks like he's going to be able to live at 20 HP, and they are able to cap it off of those picks that they got on defense of those longer spawns. So 3 minutes for the first point is definitely long, but at least they got it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the Amazing Digital Mercs are at least able to get onto that point, like you said. They got it. The Wholesome Chunguses, though, with a 3-minute hold, this is kind of looking like the match we saw yesterday with the Amazing Digital Mercs, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Bonk Boys question mark?
Yes.
This is looking very, very similar to that, where it took them a long time to get out and to actually push in, but in every point they would pretty much go down to the wire. But does look like we have Freddy going in. Mayabon will get caught out. Paul going to go down as well, so will Crom. Engineer Gaming and Pale B go down. Raw's going to get the 2-for-1 combo there, and looks like all the players on the Wholesome Chunguses will go down for it. So while the first point may have been taken rather slowly in terms of, the amount of time, 3 minutes, 3 seconds of trying to, get yourself on that point, it does look like they were able to get in pretty quickly on that second point, getting the time to beat to 3:51.
Yeah, for sure. Very good plays coming out with that Uber ad. Almost was able to get Cole, but unfortunately not, so they're going to be at slight disad. I will note, C. Ravioli was able to live in the back surprisingly long, so it's definitely a lot more difficult for the Amazing Digital Mercs to get a more that forward aggression setup. Being at 75% here, Cole has Uber, so if they do come in, Fountain Man could try to elect to take the Uber into them, see if they could get Toasty Jakey to die before he gets Uber, as the cart is now finally going to get around that turnstile. Forgot exactly what it's called, but they're able to get it through there, and Scary Broccoli is going to be taking in this Uber through the right. It's an exchange. Shrunk goes down to the background. Not many picks are happening, though.
Yeah, not a lot of picks coming out of it from either side, really. It's the excuse me, the Amazing Digital Mercs are only able to get 1, but oh my goodness, the collapse from the Wholesome Chunguses is huge as they're able to get 5. Scary Broccoli goes down as he's left in alone. G Magnum will be able to find Lappy and Raw, but it's a little, that's too little too late at this point. You've already lost 5 players. It's fat, it's nuclear, it's huge. The Wholesome Chunguses have kind of bought themselves a solid, probably 20, 30 seconds, somewhere in that ballpark of extra time. And Shrump will be peeking rather wide, trying to peek that cart. But at this point, it's kind of up to the Amazing Digital Mercs to just muster up another Uber. They kind of have to build this out unless they want to rip some kind of crazy dry fight.
For sure, Pulper almost is able to get the snipe on either the heavy or the medic, but does miss being in the back right corner. But relatively slow here, 90% going to be on both sides, so we're going to be seeing an Uber exchange soon enough. But yeah, great collapse from the side. Trump being way too close, though, dies. Pulper going down in the back right, so no snipers. Freddy is going down. Uber's coming out from the side of Scary Broccoli. Not much is happening, though. They do get the gun.
From behind, gets the NG, gets the heavy, too!
Amazing picks coming up from the side of Mayabon. Amazing plays there. Now down 3 on the side of the Wholesome Chunks, so it looks like they're going to have to back up. Great stabs coming in. Market Garden trying to see if they can salvage something. Cole is also committing with the Pyro here, so they want to keep holding on to it. But being down 4, I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to it for much longer.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, big spawn from C Ravioli onto G Magnum. Freddy going to go down as well. Scary Broccoli will get the pipe onto Ravioli and is actually going to get the sticky onto Crom as well. Will get taken down by Shromp here, but C Ravioli kind of bought the Wholesome Chungus a little bit of extra time in getting G Magnum down there. He was getting some really good spam from that height, and the Garden is really going to be beneficial. Mayabon going to be able to get in and will almost get the backstab onto Shromp, but gets robbed by their own teammate. It looks like Paul is going to be able to get that pick instead. It does look like the Amazing Digital Mercs are going to be ripping this Uber through the doorway, but they're getting stuffed very, very effectively by Risemonger. Their Uber is about to fade here, and they will not be able to really push as far in as I hope they will, but Paul going to be able to win that fight with Crom and get the kill. The Amazing Digital Mercs aren't in the best position in terms of their total time. They need to speed this up unless they want to have another 11-minute hold. But yeah. I think it's possible for them to get this over quickly.
For sure. I was going to say textbook from the side of Risemonger. Being the only one to die there in that Uber at play is very great from the side of defense, now being at 40% ad. Freddy going down in the background as well as, I mean, not really many picks. They are trying to meet them on the left here, seeing if they could get anything. Uber does come out from the side of Cole. Toasty JK only being at 75%, but considering it's a solo Pyro, it looks like not many people should die here. Shalil should be the only one that goes down, and they are trying to beat him. Fountain Man gets too close and dies, as well as Risemonger. Crumb also goes down to Paul Purr, so they aren't going to have the engineer or their combo. It's going to be a full ad push. Pulper does go down. Trump is able to win that SVS. Uber coming out. And Cole goes down to Scary Broccoli. Toasty JK out of 10K. They should be able to cap.
Yeah, I think the Amazing Digital Mercs here have just kind of won themselves the game. Taking down Cole, there's going to be huge, but Raw gets in, takes down Jakey. Lappy going to be able to find Mayabon as well. It looks like Freddy and G Magnum going to be able to find some picks of their own, but I don't think it's really going to matter as they still have the alive here on the point. Melee battle between Crom and Broccoli. The bottle will always come out on top. Sharp Object versus Blunt. Who will win? Looks like Risemonger going to be able to win the fight with Scary Broccoli inside of this little flank area here by those stairs. And the Amazing Digital Mercs not quite able to win their initial push, but I think with a coordinated second attack, almost backcapped by the Spy. If he maybe managed to get the what there, could have opened up a doorway for him here. But the Amazing Digital Mercs trying to throw themselves in. They are going to lose a couple more players for it, and that is the end of their, I believe, second push there. They're going to have to go in for a third with even Ubers at least.
Yeah, no, great from the what there, and Crom able to kind of hold off in that 2v5 effectively. The what going down to 38 HP. If he died there, that realistically would have been it for the Wholesome Chungus' defense, but they're able to go a little longer as Cole gets up to 90%. Spy's trying to get in, but Mayabon unfortunately is found out by the what there, dying in the background. Chilo also goes down, so being down a couple, and Toasty JK goes down to Fountain Man. The 10% ad definitely is going to allow them to kill the med there. Toasty JK was only at 90%. Fountain Man is trying to get even more for it, but kind of bit off more than he could chew, so amazing med pick, but unfortunately losing Fountain Man there should allow the Amazing Digital Mercs to get a pretty fast repush coming in here.
Yeah, the Amazing Digital Mercs have an opportunity to throw themselves at the point, essentially. They have a very open window to try and get in. With Ubers being as low as they are, they could take a pretty confident strike. Oh my goodness, but Mayabon is able to get in and get onto Cole. The med dies for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. No heals are in the equation for them. Any damage is permanent for the next 9 seconds. If they can manage to push in on the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs and make something happen, just whittle down health over time, potentially, they could make a rather large push if they keep Jakey alive as well. That's the crucial part here. They can't let anything happen to Jakey as they need to maintain that Uber to get a dominant push sent into last.
Yeah, Uber's coming out through the campfire here on the right as it's going to be yet again another solo on Scary Broccoli, but he is able to get Cole, multiple players. Everyone seems to be dying on the side of the Wholesome Chungus is down by 6, down by 7. Fountain Man only at 28 HP, so it's only the explosives. It's going to be a team wipe, and they are able to finally cap, I'm guessing 930, nope, 1048. So they do get a 3-second longer hold than they did in their first game. The Trunkuses did. And as we saw last game, they almost capped. So who knows? Maybe those 3 seconds are going to matter, but amazing defense. Almost 4 minutes at the end of their on last for the Wholesome Chunguses. And yeah, I was going to say they aren't, at least from an offensive perspective, from the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, they are not swinging together nearly as well as I'd like them to be. A lot of the time, it's only 1 or 2 players. Most of the time, like Scary Broccoli swinging and a lot of players playing behind them. Normally, as the Demo and Highlander, you want players in front of you so you can consistently get that damage down. It's just not happening. So these pushes are getting stuffed over and over again. And it's been really difficult to keep that consistent momentum, that consistent pressure playing off these advantages, and that's what's going to happen to get a 1048. Also, wait, G Magnum, you found something on the roof?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Holy! Is this an edge bug or a wall bug? What is
I'm pretty
he
sure
doing up here?
I'm pretty sure it's clipped slightly to where you can just kind of stand up there. He's going to be able to.
What in the world? Wait a minute.
A bit of an oversight for the map creators part. We'll see. Interesting play. We'll see how it works out for him.
I have never seen this spot before, but I do want to mention every second matters here. Like you were talking about earlier, that those extra few seconds may just be the difference. I was watching the EU cast earlier, and they won by 3. I'm not sure which team won, but there was a win by literally 3 seconds on this map. So very possible for the Amazing Digital Mercs to win, or sorry, for the Wholesome Chunguses to win off of this if they take a long time. Oh my.
That was insane! The bomb from just absolutely from the just from the top there in the skybox, able to get Cole down. So that's definitely going to be the momentum they need. Toasty Jakey going down to 60 HP is still able to hold on the Uber. Good job on his end. They are down 4 though, so Toasty Jakey realistically is going to have to use if they want to keep this point. Playing this relatively passive. We'll see if the Uber comes out or not. Lots of pressure coming out from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses though. But again, amazing play coming out from the side of G Magnum.
Yeah, I cannot believe that worked. I mean, granted, I'm sure some of these folks did not know that spot existed. C Ravioli will go down here. No sentry up for the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Looks like it'll get taken down again. Fish Stick on a Stick going to be able to take down the red sentry this time, but will go down, and so will Crom. 2 Scary Broccoli netting himself a 5-kill streak. It does look like the Wholesome Chunguses have some kind of foothold forward, but they're not going to be able to hold on to it very well. I don't think C Ravioli is going to bomb forward. We'll be able to take down G Magnum. Does look like the remaining teammates that he has by the point are rotating over to try and take down what remains of the Wholesome Chunguses offense here. And Cole with 50% Uber ad. They might just try and rip something close, but I think the optimal strat here is to just hold on to this point for as long as possible and take the exchange that is inevitably coming your way.
Yep, Uber's coming through here. Toasty Jakey only being at 65% could mean that this Uber is very potent, but since it's only a solo demo, Toasty Jakey does go down, though. Steve Ravioli is able to get the bomb in the background, going down 4 for the side of the Amazing Digital Mercs, now down by 5. Couple of stragglers left on the point. Shalol's trying to get the pick on the medic. Cole going down to 50 HP. G Magnum is not able to land the rocket, though, so that's going to be a very good ad Uber from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses, and they're able to get the first point with 8 minutes to spare for the next 3.
Absolutely, and while we're in this slight bit of downtime, I'd really like to remind everyone that we are only a couple $100s away from our goal. We're at 2,035 out of 2,500. You can get the donation link by typing !donate in chat. You're donating to a great cause, but without too much delay from that, I think, well, no, I guess Raw's not going to be able to hide themselves away. They are going to get taken down, and that cart slowly but surely coaxes its way into the choke.
Yeah, having 40% ad here, this push should be hopefully really potent from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Down by 5 though. Toasty Jakey going down to Fountain Man is going to make this basically a free second. The Uber does come out though, so at least you have that silver lining, as the rest of the Amazing Digital Mercs are going to have to back up. It looks like, yeah, I mean, there should be relatively clean backup for the rest of the players, but Toasty Jakey dying there is going to make second effectively free from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Bomb coming in, trying to get more Gets Engineer Gaming, Scare Broccoli at 60 HP, but great push from the side of the Wholesome Chunguses. Toasty Jakey going down to Raw. What
Oh
the?
my goodness.
The second I like stop talking to think we have a minute to like breathe.
Yeah. As soon as you think we're gonna get a moment to, calm down, we can put away the auctioneer casting. Raw has to go in and make something big happen for the Wholesome Chunguses. I believe it's the other way around there. But either way, they were able to make something big happen. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that would be the caster's curse. What would that be?
I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe everyone in the server kind of just like took a second to like, breathe in and breathe out, and Raw realized the moment that he had there. He was able to get the med pick. But Cole being at 100%, we should be seeing an ad Uber very soon here. Scare Broccoli goes down to see Ravioli and the what. Great play coming out from the side of the Soldier and the Heavy, and it looks like they're going to try and use through the porch here very soon into the gun and into Pale B. We'll see what happens though. Trying to swing out, Fountain Man dies. I don't know why they aren't taking this Uber. This is definitely taking them forever as Pale B is trying to swing, get more picks. Uber's coming out. It looks like they're getting enough room to be able to cap this. Keep an eye on G Magnum though, going in for the bomb on the cart. Isn't able to get much, and Mayabon does go in, is able to get Lappy, but she isn't going to be able to get anything else. And now they have 6 minutes to push last. The Amazing Digital Mercs are really going to have to get something going here. They do have full ad though, so hopefully that makes it slightly easier to hold this on for, again, 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think the possibility for a another 10-minute reversal is on the table. They have to hold for an extra minute compared to what they needed to do yesterday. But, I mean, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. The Wholesome Chunguses have a lot of players down here. It's pretty much a full team wipe here. If Cole is able to get out, that's kind of their only saving grace. But, doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I think my HUD is a little...
Cole was able to live there, still at 65%. Lappy did try in the background to get Toasty Jakey. Toasty Jakey going down to about 40 HP, but since no one else was able to follow up, unfortunately, it doesn't convert. So 40 ad on this push here, 5 minutes left. This should be a good ad push, especially considering how close the Amazing Digital Mercs are playing.
Yeah, with the Amazing Digital Mercs playing the way they are, I think... They're definitely, I think, going to be able to kite around this Uber, but what I really think is going to be important is their post and how they manage to play around that. Lappy will be able to finish off the Sapper's damage and take down the Sentry, forcing them to rebuild. It looks like they're going to take this Uber in through Campfire, choosing to milk for as long as possible, but... Oh, they dropped Jakey!
98% going down now, down by 5, down by 6, down by 7, and it looks like as long as they remember that the cart's behind them, that they're going to be able to cap this, and we're going to see a 2-0 win from the side of the Chunguses. Freddy very easily could 1v9 this. Okay, maybe not. The cart's going to go through, and the Wholesome Chunguses are going to 2-0 this lower bracket final with this third place match, so to speak. They don't take 5.
They were able, maybe they were watching the cast while the other team was, struggling to push it, and they said, hey, let's not do what they did. And they are able to thwart the whispers, the rumors of the infamous 10-minute reversal that was looming over everybody's head. It does... It is a little bit unfortunate for the Amazing Digital Mercs, as well as when we look at these logs, Scary Broccoli with another 710 DP, or not another, but another over 700 DPM game, I should say, at 710. He is going almost double his damage taken per minute. I mean, there's really only so much one guy can do, and I think I said this yesterday. Broccoli's kind of a one-man army. And unfortunately, all that damage he's doing just isn't getting mopped up as often as it should be.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's only had one half out of the 4 that he played where he went under 700 DPM. So again, like great plays coming out from him, as well as being the top frag, tying with Fountain Man though, who also went 28 and 10 with 500 DPM, which still is definitely very good from both demos. Both demos had a great performance. And then again, like the what, C Ravioli and Raw all going 20 and 5, 19 and 12, 17 and 17, being those the supporting cast, so to speak. really able to close it out for the Chunkuses. And again, very solid plays as we saw on both maps. And yeah, that will do it, and it'll let them get third place and at least win one match out of the two that they played. So definitely good on them. Good plays from the side of the Chunkuses. And I mean, all around, all of the every single one of the player in the server had a pop off moment. They were all doing their best. So very fun match to watch. Definitely.
Absolutely. And again, I would really, really, really like to emphasize just how close to beating the $2,500 goal we are. And as I say that, big dono from Crom, 75 clams dropped to the cause, saying third place is basically first right. Either way, it's for charity. And that is the mindset that everybody needs to have. I think we got two other anonymous donations, if I'm not
In the
mistaken,
background, yeah, we're now
during
down. We're
that
at sub
game.
400 away from the goal. We again, I'm gonna keep saying it. We can do it. We
And
definitely can hit that goal.
I hate to cut you off here, but I would really like to just put it in perspective. If each person here were to toss $10, we would be over the goal. Like we would be over 2,500. So just to throw it into perspective for everybody here, these guys are all playing for charity. They're all here to raise money and put on a good show for you guys. All for a good cause, getting money raised for the Starlight Children's Foundation. I cannot emphasize just how important this charity is, making sure that children have a stress-free or as much of a stress-free time as possible during hospital recovery or just during any time of hospital stay.
Oh, definitely. I mean, everyone just being here. I mean, all the players, all the viewers as well. Like it's we're definitely doing something great here. I do believe we have interviews happening soon with the players from both teams. I believe, if I remember correctly, it is Tosi, Jakey, and Broccoli coming in first. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to that soon,
Cool
and looks
game,
like it's
right?
going to be right now.
Hello.
How Scary
Hello.
Broccoli and Tosi, Jakey? How you guys are doing?
Can't complain. Had a fun time.
Yeah, it was a fun event. Unfortunately, we lost, but there has to be a loser. So
I was gonna say, I mean, it's very unfortunate how it happened. At least from your perspective, Scary Broccoli. I'm assuming you at least got some clips for a frag dump, so to speak. You're doing very well there, as from watching from a bird's eye view. But I was gonna say, again, I remember us talking about the maps yesterday, but you guys did implement some changes from yesterday. How did the maps feel going into it now, having more practice compared to yesterday, where for a lot of people it was the first time even seeing the map?
well, we didn't get to play Neo Tropical or however you say it, unfortunately, which I was really looking forward to playing that one. But as far as I'm aware, there's some performance problems. I feel like we definitely put up a much better performance as well on the payload map. Uh, I don't know if Jakey kind of feels the same way, or if I'm. I mean,
Oh,
we still lost,
100%.
but we made it all the way to the end, right?
I used what I obviously I used what I learned yesterday. Again, first comp match, and everything that Broccoli's been telling me, even outside of the match, right, and just implementing that. And I felt like we played a lot better, to be honest with you. And the maps felt good, but yeah, especially on that Koth map, I felt like I was just getting constantly bombed with that sniper sightline because I had it put me in like a really bad
Yep.
spot, kind of like what Broccoli was saying.
Yeah, in the call we were in before, I was mentioning that the sniper can just get set up on top of that shed when you have the point, and it covers the entirety of the point as well as like where you would be kind of fighting the point from. Like you can't cap the like on other maps like Asheville or Product or well Viaduct if you're a casual player, you can cap the point and not be in the sniper sight line. It depends on where the sniper's standing, but that one sight line covers everything, and so then it puts your medic in a really bad spot where you get one shot headshot with a quick scope, so you can't really peek out if the sniper's good. But you're also standing in a spot where you have no vision and you just get bombed, and you can't really react to it unless you have Uber, then you can pop. But neither situation is exactly ideal.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, like looking at the maps, definitely some kinks that need to be worked out in terms of development. But I mean, again, it was a really fun match to watch just in general. And I mean, it was great having you guys here. Eki, you have any questions?
No, I can't say I have any questions. I do want to, while you guys may not have made third place, second place, first place, you still came out. You played for an awesome cause. So of course, I want to thank you guys for actually playing in the first place. Trying your best, even even against some very tall odds, a very tall order to try and get things done. You guys still played at your A game, and you did pretty much everything you possibly could to fight tooth and nail, and almost took it to a third map. I mean, a lot of those games were very, very close, it felt like, despite what the score will say. But I'm going to have to agree with you. That sniper sightline was brutal. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys played awesome. I mean, it was an awesome cast as well. So again, I really want to thank you guys for just, coming out and playing for a good cause, even if you didn't make it, to the position that I imagine you guys probably would have imagined you have got to.
No, for sure. I was gonna say after this cast, I might go walk around the map a little bit to see, because I've never I've seen it from like from a caster's perspective, from spectator, but I've never actually walked around the map before. So I'm like, I really want to see what's going on with that route.
I think it kind of plays like Lakeside, but there's no cover from sniper at all, unlike on Lakeside.
I could
That's
see
how
that.
I would describe it.
I could see that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for playing. We all
Thank you guys for
greatly
inviting
appreciate
us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
But
Right.
yeah, it looks like we're probably going to, especially since we're running a little late, go into the second set of interviews with the third place team, with those from Chungus's Lappy and Fish Stick on a Stick popping in here. How
Hello.
you guys doing?
Hello. I have a mild headache, but I'm doing good.
Oh, I feel that.
That's, I think, the most real thing I've heard anyone drop in this VC today. But I feel like you guys did extremely well this game.
Thank you.
Obviously, things felt like a lot of the time for several moments it looked like the Amazing Digital Mercs were like just kind of, or sorry, Wholesome Chunguses rather. No, am I getting these mixed up? What's
We are
happening?
the
What
wholesome
are we-
chunguses.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
I was like
Jeez
looking at the
Louise.
stream to see how C Ravioli's profile picture was still there. So I like just zoned
had
out
a-
What
for
do
a
you mean?
second.
That's Nazi ravioli, lol.
Wait, real?
Real. Yeah, my bad. I was getting a little confused there. But it looked like a lot of the time the Amazing Digital Mercs, they kind of just like they were being very, very oppressive. But you guys came back so many times. I mean, you kind of just like rubber banded straight into them. You would kind of just absorb whatever they were throwing at you and then throw it right back. I mean, you just magnetoed them, to describe it.
Yeah,
as
I mean
best
that first round on
can.
Koth, I really thought we were gonna lose
Oh, yeah, I
that
thought
first
we were gonna
round.
lose.
And I was kind of preparing myself for that mental defeat. So the fact that we were able to turn that around and get a 3-0 was really nice. On the payload map too, we had this thing today and yesterday where we held first for a long time before kind of getting steamrolled afterwards. But I was really glad to kind of take it back round on offense, which is we weren't able to do that yesterday. So it was really nice to be able to, push the card into the last point today.
Yeah, I was gonna say slowing it down, getting that wipe at the end there, not allowing the enemy medic, not allowing Tosi Jakey to get away and get that Uber charge to take back into you guys, which we saw a bit of yesterday. So again, great adaptation from how yesterday went. I was just gonna say, yeah, it was very fun watching you guys, and it was very well-rounded team. You all performed really well, and I mean, like, I know C Ravioli isn't here. The Gardens were insane.
Oh yeah,
And, like, yeah.
that last garden
You got some good
on
ones.
conveyance was absolutely nutty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you have anything, Eki, I think that's about it for me. Thank you guys for playing, though. At least from
Yeah.
my perspective. Like, thank you so much for showing up.
One last thing I have to say is that I dropped the medic on the first point of the payload map on defense with a random cleaver, and I was screaming.
Oh, no, it was the same here.
I can only imagine. We both started screaming about that.
I looked at the kill
I have to
feed.
watch the VOD later.
I thought it was like the crits or something that I didn't immediately notice. I look up top and I see the the bleed
no,
icon
I was
next to
just
the
chucking
medic.
cleavers for the sake of it, and I saw the kill. I saw there was the medic, and I just said, "I dropped the medic."
Well, I think we're probably gonna end this interview here. Big congrats on getting third place, though. Honestly,
Thank you.
and again, like BBL said, much appreciated for coming out and playing to raise money for this charity and providing such great content for the cast and all that stuff. You know,
That's
so
$2,000.
yeah,
Insane.
21.35 right now. I'm just
And
saying.
99 cents. Don't forget the 99
Yeah,
cents.
and 99, 21.35.99. If everybody here, throw like $5, $10, we'd be there. We'd be at that goal. We're right there. We're right there. But
Very
yeah,
close.
I think that'll do it for this interview here. And I believe as well, we're going to take a small 5-minute break so we can get things situated and do some housekeeping here. So we'll be back momentarily with the next match.
It's gonna be a good one.
And welcome back, everybody. Our break is over, and we are ready to bring you the very anticipated grand final for Seasonalander to determine who's going to be walking home from this event with a big gold trophy in their hands. Except there is no trophy, and they're not going to be walking away with anything in their hands except for the joy that comes from winning and the smiles they're going to bring to all of the children that receive benefits from all of the money that is being donated to the charity of this event. I'm Eki in the booth with BBL. I'm excited for this upcoming game. How about you?
Oh, I'm very excited. I was going to say, seeing these two teams, both of these teams were the teams that we saw yesterday that are very heavy oriented, being specifically around JPEG and Grape Juice, respectively. So I know that rosters are going to be popping up soon. But yeah, only being $350 away from the goal is 1000% doable. And I really, that rallying cry, you know, that call to action, so to speak, I know is. I would like we can do it is my point, as I was stuttering for a second there. But looking at the two teams that we're going to be seeing, specifically the Bonk Boys and Doki Doki Fight Club, as we see them slowly roll into the server. Still trying to. I'm pretty sure we're going to be starting on conveyance, but it might be Neotropic. Not 100% sure just yet. But starting with the Bonk Boys, we are going to be looking at Brickiest Brick on Scout, PK Beats on Soldier, Deputy 7 on Pyro, Windexian on Demo, Grape Juice Heavy, Cypherlock Engineer, Gumsy Medic, Peanut Sniper, and Stab Spy.
Sounds like a pretty stacked roster, if I do say so myself. But sounding a little bit stacked as well is the upcoming roster of Doki Doki Fight Club, with your scout being EKSD, your soldier will be Proctato, your pyro will be Jolie, or Joely, however you say that. Hope I said it right one of those times. Your demo will be Mr. Boomsnook. Your heavy will be the one and only JPEG. Your NG is going to be Pope Squidly. Your medic will be Eminix. Your sniper will be Fog Ballistic, the Wii Remote Menace. And your spy will be General Alias.
Yeah, we do have Mr. Wii Remote himself coming back from when we saw him last time, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him and how he's going to be how he continues to develop on that very special style of play, so to speak. But as people slowly get into the server, it looks like we're going to be starting on Neotropic. So again, map very, very closed off. And when we're talking about two teams that are very heavy oriented, that is going to be this is definitely going to be the most powerful map out of the three for each of them, respectively. So I'm expecting two heavies with a lot of heals, a lot of DPM, and a very a game one via brute force, so to speak.
Yeah, what I'm anticipating here is a lot, and I mean a lot of point flopping. On this map specifically, it's going to be like this is going to be like prime Mike Tyson fighting himself in the ring. That is the point. I mean, it's like Mike Tyson is fighting a clone of himself, and both of them are in their prime. It's gonna be bad. It's going to be brutal, but it is going to be a fantastic fight between these two teams, because I think this is probably one of the more evenly matched, or probably the most evenly matched game that we're going to have, because both of these teams have a lot of great players on them. Like we mentioned, DDFC has JPEG on it, and we saw Bonk yesterday, Stabs doing a lot of work as well. They got a lot of kills and a lot of value that they really shouldn't have been able to get away with, but they made a lot of very uncertain situations work their way. They made that situation just bend to their will, and they had a lot of impact. So I'm excited to see what these two teams are going to do with one another on this map, Neotropic. We're seeing this map for the first time today. We didn't get to see it last match because that was the decider, but thankfully we get to see it again this match.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, like you said, it's going to be very power class focused around the heavy, around the demo, with how closed off it is, how many corners and how like claustrophobic this map can be. I know last time that we saw this map in the third half in the tiebreaker, for the game yesterday between Doki Doki Fight Club and the Wholesome Chunguses. Meds were also having a very difficult time staying alive. There seemed to be a relatively decent amount of like cubbies and corners to kind of hide in, but the second you get caught out, you're effectively dead. There's no way really to, or I don't see many ways to really surf around the map and, you know, get away from whatever class is trying to kill you. So we'll also see if it turns into a med death marathon over and over again, but hopefully, in my opinion, whichever team is able to protect their med better and play around, like I said, those power classes is definitely going to walk away with this map and have the advantage going into the divergence. But yeah, as we see, the Doki Doki Fight Club already has 9 in server. We're just waiting on a couple of people from the Bonk Boys, and we should be starting up soon. I will also say, if I remember correctly, both of the I'm really excited to look at the pick classes from these players. Stabs, she did amazing yesterday. Definitely with how the sheer amount of picks, side stabs, and just the sheer impact in the background that she was having was insane, as well as like Mr. Wii Remote himself. You know, I'm very looking forward to seeing how they adapt into this again, like tighter and more closed off map. So it's gonna be good.
Absolutely. And I would like to mention yet again, donation link in the bottom right corner, QR code in the top left, exclamation point donate in chat to get a link to the Tiltify campaign. We are just shy of $400 to the goal. We are pretty much right there. I mean, I said it earlier. If everyone here were to just throw maybe $7, 7 clams, maybe 8, this goal would be shattered. We would be well over 2,500, and I'm not sure how much we need to beat the highest amount of money that Seasonalander ever made. If I could get a confirmation on however much the max is, see how much we would need to go. So just short of 3,000. My production's telling me that we need to raise to beat the highest ever goal, and I think it is entirely possible to have that happen today. I mean, I don't know if the Tiltify campaign may run longer than the stream, but you don't want to chance it, not running. You don't want to hold off. If you want to donate, now's your time to do it. Now is the time to make things happen. So, yeah, that said, I am very excited to get into this Neotropic match because we only got to see it for a couple minutes, it felt like yesterday.
Oh, it went by really quickly, and I was gonna say, I mean, look, let's think about this. Chief 2, as we already know, is a very junky game. The amount that you'd have to do, at least from my base understanding of how the game works, to get a Wii remote to work with it, as well as the nunchuck, and only using that for the entirety of a game, that's difficult in itself. That is like applause worthy, like standing ovation worthy. And to be able to do that for this, I mean, I'm just saying, man, that alone should be more than enough of a reason to try and get this above the goal. Looking at it specifically, we actually only barely need to get over 2,500 to actually beat the record, so to speak. So I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. We definitely can do it. Just need that little push further to be able to reach there, to reach the precipice of what we're trying to get here. I mean, we're between like 80-90% of the way there, so very close. Granted, we have 8 in the server from the side of the Bonk Boys, so again, we should be starting relatively soon. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Trying to think of other things to immediately mention.
I mean, it's kind of just that it's that like intermediary time or intermission time, I should say, where we're kind of able to talk about whatever. We could talk about the game. We could talk about we could just banter between ourselves. We could do really whatever. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm very excited for this upcoming game. I think it's going to be very close. Like I said, I'm expecting to see a lot of flip-flopping in who owns the point, and I'm expecting to see a lot of overtime, all things considered. I genuinely think we are going to see this is going to be the most amount of overtime we have seen in any game ever. I think yesterday we only saw one instance of double overtime, if I'm not mistaken, and today we only had one instance of double overtime. Or did we get double overtime today? I don't remember. I don't think we did.
We did in the very first round, I believe we got to double
right.
overtime. Also, another 50 dropped from Emanix. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, so I'm sorry if I got that slightly wrong, but thank you so much for the 50. She's got us to being slightly over $300 away from hitting that goal, so thank you so much for that. It's absolutely bottom of our hearts appreciate it. Thank you so much. The heavy matchup again. The two main classes for two main players, or two heads of the ships, captains, so to speak, on each team is the heavy. And again, with how closed off this map is, do you try and kill everyone and then deal with the Putis, or you're just trying to deal with the Putis first, and then you've sort of cut off the head of the monster, so to speak, of the enemy team? Because it's like I feel like everyone's going to be trying to keep that player alive, So I'm wondering how these teams are going to try and handle that and play around it.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because both of those strategies can actually work. It very much depends on the execution of it. If you're planning on taking down the heavy support around him, you have to be super fast. You have to be in, and you have to be quick. You need to just you have to pretty much insta-give everybody around him. And if you're very confident in your DM, maybe you send a soldier in and he distracts the heavy and he takes the bullets, and your demo waddles forward and he's, 1 sticky, 2 sticky, 3 sticky, insta-dets on everybody, 3 pipes thrown over, big damage, because like you said, a lot of people are going to be playing around their heavies, so it's going to be a lot of grouped up people, a lot of splash damage coming out. So it's very possible that even just a handful of pipes could kill someone that wasn't meant to be killed by it. But I do think, generally speaking, the better strategy will just be to focus the heavy. It is vastly vastly simpler, rather, to try and coordinate focus fire onto one guy than it is to coordinate such a grand plan of trying to obliterate all of his support, because realistically speaking, the heavy is kind of their rock. And when you take down the anchor, the rest of the ship it's gonna sink down with it. They don't really have much to stay afloat with once that heavy is gone. Not to discredit the other players, of course, but like you said earlier, these teams are very heavy-centric. And I think once their heavy goes down, a lot of their strategy kind of goes away with it, and they're left scrambling to pick up the pieces.
For sure, and I was going to say another $10 donation coming in from Anonymous, basically $300 away from the goal. We're getting there slowly but surely, but I keep going.
Yeah, we gotta keep this train going.
We keep that streak, keep the momentum flowing. But this game should be starting here any moment now. At least keeping an eye on chat. At least one of the teams is readied up. Looks like we're just waiting on the Bonk boys to figure out some map issues, I believe. Not 1,000% sure, but we should be starting any moment now. I will say this map, even with the FPS issues, is a very, very pretty map. Also, I have noticed that, I don't know if this is ever going to happen, but apparently you can build on the roofs on the right. Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be anything with that. I was going to say the right side of the map isn't really utilized much at all from what I've seen from the teams that we saw play it yesterday. So I wonder if at all possible it's going to be used maybe slightly more in any capacity. Everyone was just kind of in the left house, in that bunker, so to speak. So we'll see if teams are able to play a little more outside, a little wider. Really difficult though, considering how many walls and kind of how difficult it is from at least the beach, so to speak, to get onto the point and start shooting onto it. But it looks like the game's going to be starting.
Yeah, and I did see Pope in that pre-game there on the very far right side, looking at it from the red perspective on that little shack with the life ring on it. They had a leveled sentry up on that, so that's going to be something to look out for. I don't know if that's going to have a lot of use, but that's besides the point. As Peanut going to open up the game with a pick on a Fog Ballistic. Rickiest Brick will get taken down though by JPEG. Does look like even players will be the motto for this first fight. PKB, it's going to go down as well. Sentry now down for Cypherlock. Looks like JPEG opening up the window for his team to get in. Stabs, looks like she's trying to go in from behind. Will get poked squidly, though. And XD, or EKSD, rather, going to be able to find that pick.
Yeah, no, again, very, very back and forth mid right now, besides the fact of Gumsy going down to Patrick as I'm trying to say that. So, Aminix, she's at 95% here, going to be at full ad. We'll see. It looks like they aren't going to be able to cap this. The cap's still going to go into the favor of the Bonk Boys, but we should be seeing a relatively fast refight. Breaking 2,200, by the way, in the background. Thank you so much. Less than $300 away. I did not forget. I saw you. I saw that, so good job there. Grape Juice is going to go down to JPEG, though, as Ubers did go out in the background. Not many people are dying, but the entire combo, actually, for the side of the Doki Doki Fight Club is dying. Patrick getting onto Gumsy in the background as well. We're just seeing picks coming back and forth, and no one has capped yet.
And no one has capped the point. This is probably one of the longest mid fights, I guess you could consider it, that I've seen. You know, I've seen my fair share of long mid fights. You know, I've seen those sixes. I've been a part of those sixes mid fights, and admittedly, one Highlander mid fight that it just went on forever. I mean, we had pretty much 3 parts to that mid fight, 3 volumes, if you will. But it looks like the side of Bonk Boys will be pushing forward yet again, trying to get themselves positioned on the point. They're getting a little bit of cap time, but I don't know if they'll be able to maintain it. Big bomb coming in from the side of Frogs. Going to be going very, very high up into the stratosphere, not quite able to land on whoever I think they wanted to, so they're going to have to run away here. Still no cap time, really, from the side of the Bonk Boys. They are going to lose Gumsy and Windex here. Deputy now going down as well. Sentry gone. Now Grape Juice dying. The Uber coming out from the side of DDFC. And I do believe with Gumsy dying there, that gives DDFC a slight little bit of ad. PK Beats is up above them, though. Interested to see if he's going to be able to find anything.
Yeah, no, great Uber coming out from the side of the Doki Doki Fight Club, still having onto the point, being down a minute. The scout for Doki Doki Fight Club does go down, though, so we're going to be seeing the point being slowly capped on the right side here for the Bonk Boys. Bomb coming in, trying to get onto Gumsy, 44 HP. Gumsy going down to Proct, amazing bomb now on a 5k. So any momentum that the Bonk Boys had in trying to push this is now null and void, as this is going to be a really solid hold coming out from the Doki Doki Fight Club.
Yeah, Doki Doki Fight Club. Spoke a little too fast there. Doki Doki Fight Club looking to try and at least retreat a little bit into their little nest here and get themselves grouped up, wait for their spawners. Doesn't look like it's going to net them too much, though. They are going to have to pop as the Pyro, I believe this Deputy 7 here, is going to be able to run in. It does look like Gumsy going to die, though. Caught behind the shack here, caught between a rock and a hard place. It looks like JPEG going to get taken down by Deputy 7 here. Potentially Eminix going to go down as well, and yes, they will, as Deputy 7 runs forward with the help of Stabs. Those two will form a dynamic duo. They're going to be able to take down the beam for the side of DBFC, negating any form of ad that they could have gained from taking down Gumsy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was definitely looking to be in the favor of Doki Doki Fight Club, even though the Bonk Boys capped the point after Gumsy died there. But they were able to the Bonk Boys were definitely able to immediately climb back, so to speak, and get back onto the point. Still able to keep the point, but it looks like they're not going to lose it to Doki Doki Fight Club. JPEG able to cap it, still being up a minute in time, so this is definitely looking very good in the favor of Doki Doki Fight Club. Bomb coming in. Oh,
I believe there's a little bit of a pause here, potentially. Is it a pause or is it a server issue? We'll find out. I mean, I'm not seeing the "you've been disconnected" thing in the top right, so I'm assuming this is just probably a technical pause. I mean, there's been some issues with some stuff. I mean, I don't know if any of these guys are on the East Coast, but you know, there's been a lot of issues from a lot of people I know on the East Coast of the U.S. that have been struggling a lot. You know, internet issues. There's been some pretty heavy rainfall over here, so maybe some internet issues, just something went bad. But looks like the game gonna get unpaused here. Probably just tech let someone back into the server after they DC'd or something, or maybe attack. I don't know. But it does look like Doki Doki Fight Club is going to be able to hold on to the point. The time you are seeing on the stream is a little incorrect, but I do believe they had about a minute worth of time here. the timer will update on its own eventually at some point, probably when they win the round or when it actually gets to 24 seconds and starts ticking down properly again, or when the Bonk Boys decide to cap. But Fog going to go down there losing the SPS with Peanut.
Yeah, I was going to say everything in my HUD is definitely a little screwed up right now, so I'm going to do my absolute best to keep an eye out of what's going on. As a bunch of, it looks like the Bonk Boys are trying to retake the point here. Now down to 18 seconds for the side of Doki Doki Fight Club. The Uber's coming in. JPEG behind off the medic on Gumsy. It looks like Gumsy realistically should go down here. Might be able to live. Kills the demo, kills the medic. So JPEG getting multiple kills in the background. Now down 5 from the side of the Bonk Boys. And it looks like Doki Doki Fight Club should be able to take this first round relatively comfortably unless something happens to the rest of the players on Doki Doki Fight Club. But it looks like they should be able to hold this relatively comfortably unless some kind of miracle happens. But no, it's going to be first round. It's going to be going to the favor of Doki Doki Fight Club.
Yeah, big round for them. I think if the Bonk Boys coordinate a little bit better, they kind of went in one by one towards the end of that round. I think they just kind of panicked a little bit and just started throwing themselves at the point, trying to make something happen. They probably could have waited a little bit more. They had a lot of cap time, but they decided not to. They were just trying to get something done. It does look like we have SpongeBob, apparently this guy's alias is, trying to go in. We'll get taken down by Grape Juice. Fog Ballistic going to lose the SPS with Peanut. PK will die, though, so that does make it, a little bit easier for DDFC to try and make something happen. They still have JPEG alive, and that's kind of their play. Stabs is able to get in. She finds the pick onto JPEG, though. Is traded out by Pope, but it looks like Brick and Grape Juice are going to be able to find 2, as well as Cypherlock finding Fog.
Yeah, no, definitely. It looks like the point's going to go into the favor of the Bonk Boys here. Neither med really dying, so Ubers are going to be at play for this refight. A lot of aggression coming out from the side of... sorry, my bad. A lot of aggression coming out from the side of the Bonk Boys on the right there, but they're going to be able to stabilize on point. Eminix does go down, it looks like, in the background, so I must have missed that. That's on me from that aggression on the right, but now it's full F for the side of Bonk Boys on top of having the point.
Yeah, it does look like Bonk Boys trying to turn this around and make it a little bit better for themselves compared to the last round. They're already off to a much better start. Winning that early fight going to give them a lot of position to play with. They do have that Uber ad. They're actually going to get forced by Patrick here, managing to, somehow get their way in and get the pick. I believe that's General Alias there getting the force. Alias is Patrick for some reason, but does look like it's probably not netting out as the way DDFC was hoping for, and they are going to lose a lot of players in that force. And it's a very good force for the side of Gumsy. They're maintaining that Uber as well. Their med did not die at any point. They weren't able to throw any kind of counter or any kind of salvage in. We do have Brick in, is able to take down the Telly, but will not be able to find any picks. And that kind of spells the end of this, at least this kind of preliminary fight between Bonk and DDFC.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, now the DDFC is trying to get through, but Eminix does die to the demo here. Windex getting a great pick onto the medic. Trying to keep tabs here. My game was lagging for a second there, unfortunate. But Gumsy's now going to be at 100%, down to half HP, but it looks like they're still going to be able to keep Gumsy up. So the Bonk Boys are having a really, really solid hold, only being down PK Beats and Brick here. It's still going to be a relatively solid hold from the side of the Bonk Boys. Very good plays from them.
Yeah, Bonk Boys are going to be able to maintain this hold. 2 minutes of time ad and ticking down still, or I guess ticking up if you're counting the amount of ad they have. Does look like Fog Ballistic probably going to get taken down by Stabs here as she finds her way in, and she will manage to get the backstab, is able to secure that pick for their team. The Wii Remote Menace is no more for this Mortal Coil, and does look like PK Beats probably going to find their demise. No, actually we'll be able to just barely squeak their way out of that building there, manage to survive. Does look like Eminix is just trying to survive for as long as possible. Oh, but as soon as I say that, Brick gets in, hits the meat shot, takes them down.
Yeah, great play from Brick there. Able to get that medic. It's going to be full ad now from the side of the Bonk Boys. 10 seconds remaining. This might be just a full-on, 3-0 here for 3 minutes as they're not able to cap once from the side of DDFC. 5 seconds remaining, and it looks like just Uber on the point, and this should be a very clean last little fight here. And yep, it's going to be 1-all from the side of the Bonk Boys, able to tie it up from that. Again, very, very great hold in the right house there in that bunker, able to get MNX over and over again as she tries to get with her team outside of the bunker. So hopefully they're able to switch it up a little bit, because that was a bit of a stomp, I will not lie.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a stomp, but do want to remind everybody, donations, very important right now, just before anything too crazy happens. Donations are very, very important. We are so close to the goal, just under $300 to reach it, just barely under that. We only have so much time to meet that goal of 2,500, and we are pretty much right there. So exclamation point donate in chat to get the link to the Tiltify campaign and potentially throw some cash the charity's way.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, this mid-fight's definitely going just as slow as they've been. The past couple of mid-fights have been a lot slower than I was expecting. But I mean, I guess playing around the heavy is going to cause that, as an Ubers are going to happen from DDFC through the bunker, trying to see if JPEG can get anybody. Stab's going to be coming in from the Patrick behind, able to get Windex, but not really much else. Down 4 from the side of Bonk Boys, as the looks like they're going to be cutting out here. Having full ad though, and having that sniper up means they should be able to get a decent refight, hopefully sooner rather than later. But DDFC are going to be the first people to cap today.
Yeah, DDFC will be the initial cappers. I do want to point out, and I don't know how useful this is, Cypherlock, if you look at the very back left of the red side spawn, has a teleporter set up, and Peanut has taken it and is slowly creeping in from the backline to fight Fog Ballistic here. Cypherlock came through as well with building in tow. I do think the scout here, if I'm not mistaken, Jolie, is going to be able to find that pick, but they haven't spotted the telly yet. It's hidden very well. And in that same time, the point does flip in favor of the Bonk Boys, who are slowly but surely ticking the time down in their favor. Stabs going through that telly, trying to get their way in and find some pick from behind.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like the sort of a high-risk play there, trying to get behind with the teleporter, but it didn't seem to work out too well. They do have the cap, though. Times are even, as well as Ubers, so we'll see how what's going to happen here. SpongeBob's trying to get onto Gumsy, does not seem to immediately get the pick. Soldier also trying to go in. Proct is still able to live, but he's not going to be able to get the pick onto Gumsy, as we're now at 90%. And yeah, I mean, the hold is relatively stable. They are down a couple of players, and Ubers are going to come out soon, but they still have the point. They still have the room that they need. Soldier coming in from behind, though, and MNX looks like she's going to be able to live, but very close call there from the side of Gumsy. Amazing pick there.
Don't drop it. You eat a meat shot there. You've got to use the counter pop from DDFC, running over the point, trying and succeeding to take as much ground as humanly possible. Potentially Deputy 7 able to get a kill, but no, it's going to be JPEG finding Deputy 7 and Grape Juice as well. Brick is somewhere in behind. Windex is able to get EKSD. Peanut going to be winning that fight with Fog Ballistic as well. And the telly for Cypherlock has finally been destroyed, but Cypherlock is still in behind. It has the potential to maybe build some kind of, or not even some kind, but will potentially have the ability to build a second exit. And wait a minute, is Cypherlock on the Thompson?
It seems like it. I mean, I've seen him run it before a couple of times, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The bunch of picks coming out from the side of DDFC, only being down their demo though, as the Bonk Boys are trying to cap a play around that heavy. It looks like realistically they shouldn't lose the point just yet, as PK Beats is trying to get some damage on the medic there to no avail. Again, very close to being able to cap from the side of Bonk Boys, but they don't have the people realistically to cap this unless they just kind of give the point up. And it looks like, yeah, I mean, the Bonk Boys are going to be able to cap it for free. I'm surprised they didn't walk onto the point there, DDFC. It looks like they're coming in now, getting ready for the Uber on JPEG on the right.
Yeah, it looks like, excuse me, it looks like Bonk Boys gonna have a little bit of a rough time trying to re-aggress into this, as DDFC is slowly but surely melting them down. They
Great
are
bomb,
going to
by
be
the
able
way,
to
from the
grab
side
this
of the
point.
demo and Soldier, getting the medic there on point.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like Cyberlock actually has a telly set up behind yet again, building a sentry back here as well. This is very, very ambitious. It does look like Bonk Boys are trying to get something to happen, but I don't know if they're going to be able to find their way onto the point, at least for the time being. Gumsy goes down! Oh no, not again.
Patrick getting multiple stabs there in both the medic and demo. Great play coming out from him as the PK Beats also trying to go in. A bunch of just scrappy fights coming in from both sides as multiple players are down on both teams. But it looks like that DDFC should be able to still maintain this point. They are down their demo and sniper though, so it might be becoming difficult very soon. As the Bonk Boys are trying to swing out to the point there with Grape Juice. Cypherluck does go down in the background. Stabs is able to get EKSD, and it looks like they're trying to edge the point, but this definitely is a very slow fight, and a lot of times being taken off the clock.
Yeah, a lot of time being ticked down, actually, as this is approaching 1 minute worth of time, Patrick will be able to find Windex. Gumsy as well! General Alias he's out for blood now. He's got blood in the water, and he tastes it, and he wants some more. He's going in, trying to get everyone anything. I mean, he's not stopping for anyone. Nobody is going to put an end to this man's reign of terror, and that's more evident now than ever. Stab's going to be able to get in and find EKSD. That's a good pick for Bonk Boys to have. That kind of denies their ability to deny any kind of bomb, but it looks like JPEG going to be pushing forward, taking down the sentry built by Cypherlock. Cypherlock going to try and rush in, going to get taken down by Proct here. Peanut will take down Mr. Boomsnook and the sentry by Pope. This gives the Bonk Boys a little bit of an opportunity to try and come in. PK and Peanut going to go down. Looks like Grape Juice running over the point. Grape Juice going to be able to find SpongeBob, but it's a little too late, as DDFC is going to be able to cap that point.
I was going to say now, map point going to be here, and remember, less than $300 away from the goal, so exclamation point donate in chat if you are financially capable of donating. I would definitely 5, 10, however many dollars you're able to is going to be very, very much appreciated. Bomb coming in though from PK Beats, 2 Rocket Eminence in the background. First pick going to be very, very beneficial from the side of the Bonk Boys for capping this point. They are down 3 though, now down 4 with Deputy going down there to EKSD. So we'll see if they're actually able to hold on to this, but that med pick at the start is definitely going to be crucial in the maintaining it, not having those heals. But Grape Juice kind of being alone on the point, doesn't die in the background. Gumsy also going down as well, so it looks like they were able to get the med pick but lose half their team because of it, immediately off the back of it. So DDFC are actually going to be the ones to cap this mid here first.
Yeah, and I do want to point out Stabs is pretty close to Red Spawn. I think she's just kind of waiting. Actually, a bit closer to the point than Spawn, but I think she's kind of in that middle ground. She's waiting for someone, or maybe just trying to play Comm Spy for a little bit, get some info where possible. I think is bumped up in the upper building, or upper floor of this building. Will get taken down by EKSD. Fog will die. PK going to go down as well. Proc trading and Windex as well. So 2 players down for the side of DDFC. Oh my goodness, this is nuclear for the side of DDFC as they wipe out pretty much half of Bonk Boys, a little bit more than half. Deputy 7 going to go down here. Very late death, so getting that pyro on the other spawn wave will be pretty beneficial. Cypherlock trying to spy check with the sentry gun here. DDFC, though, going to be able to get about 45 seconds off of the clock here before Bonk Boys are able to find their way in and get some time.
Yeah, PK Beats trying to bomb in here. Unfortunately, does go down to the gun. Fog Ballistic loses the SBS to Peanut. And the Uber's going to be coming out from JPEG here. It looks like it's a solo heavy. Scout's trying to get a part of it, though, as not really many picks are going to be happening off that Pyro tonight with the Ringgold gun. MNX does go down to Peanut, though, in the back there, so no medic from the side of DDFC. They are able to cap it. Spy going in here, trying to get a stab, does not, unfortunately. Grip Juice is able to find it, find that pick on the spine. They should be able to get in really soon here. Demo and Scout are coming up, so DDFC do have a 30-second time ad, but they're going to have to deal with a push very soon. 85% on the side of Gumsy, so full ad also from the Bonk Boys as they start walking into the bunker.
The Bonk Boys here trying to get themselves positioned in a way that lets them push forward, especially after gaining that full Uber ad. They're just trying to position themselves on the point right now. They probably don't want to use early, but as I say that, they're going to be popping on a Grape Juice. Solo heavy Uber to get on top of the point. Stab's going to be moving in through the little house here. PK does try to bomb it, doesn't quite get anything for it. Well, I mean, he did get the beam, actually. I guess I'm mistaken. Does get taken down by JPEG there, and nets his team at least 20, 30 ad.
Yeah, no, great. I was gonna say PK able to get the med there. It looks like they should be able to off of that slowly get the point here, but a lot of great time coming in through for DDFC, still able to deny the point, especially off of that double spam near the end there, being up a minute 30. But it looks like the Bonk Boys are now finally able to cap. Definitely taking a lot longer than they would like, as Fog Ballistic loses the SVS in the background to Peanut, so not having that sniper even on the Weaver mode is going to make this more difficult, as the DDFC are trying to slowly get through steps, going down in the background, as well as Peanut. So no pick classes from the side of the Bonk Boys, and we should be seeing a push coming in soon here. Brickish Brick also going down means down 3 from the side of the Bonk Boys.
Yeah, Bonk Boys really need to tighten the ship. They need to batten down the hatch right now, because what's going on right now is they're just bleeding players, and they really can't afford to be doing that. Grape Juice is going to go down. JPEG going to be winning that heavy 1v1. Well, I don't really know if that was much of a 1v1, but he is going to win that fight. They are going to be Ubering onto JPEG, who is going to be pushing forward, taking down the sentry, opening up the window for the demo and Spy to get in. Patrick will go down to the Flames by Deputy 7, but that will be a little bit of a trade. Stab's going to be able to get him onto Fog, and Peanut going to be able to headshot proc here. So 2 good picks for the side of Bonk Boys to have. DDFC grabs the point, and they're going to be able to tick down a little bit more time. PK Beats tries to bomb in, does get taken down by the sentry, and so does Brick. Finally gets taken down. Stabs will get killed by EKSD, but that's a 2-for-1 trade. Oh my, nuclear from Windex as he finds 3, and he finds a telly too.
No, that was again great push, great Uber ad push coming in from Bonk Boys. Amazing plays all around, and they're able to get through there. So now they're going to be signed up in the bunker. 30 ad and being down Deputy and Brick means that realistically, if I'm in the position of DDFC, I'm trying to push, and I'm trying to push fast. PK Beats going down in the background is also going to make this a bit easier for the for DDFC to get through. Gumsy only being at 50%. They're all swinging through the bunker here. Fog Ballistic does go down to Peanut, and they should be able to slowly get this point out. They have a lot of room. Clock going down in the background.
Yeah, it does look like, well, DDFC has a little bit of extra time. It is, slowly dwindling down. And now that they're down proc, they don't have a soldier to really jump forward and take some of those eyes away from them. But at least, they're probably thinking, we only need to get one more round, and we have actually, we only have 1 player advantage. Oh, now it's even players, as I believe Mr. Boomsnook dies here. Peanut going to be able to find the shot onto him. Proc is alive again, is going to have to take the 1v1 with PK Beats in this upper area, will die for it, does not succeed. JPEG trying to get some value, destroying a lot of those buildings. Looks like SpongeBob is going in. Careful, SpongeBob! You need to be careful. He's running straight into a heavy. I mean, you cannot be doing that. I mean, I get, you're powerful, but geez Louise. Big nuke coming in from Grape Juice and Windex, though. They're going to be able to wipe out pretty much everybody that's on top of the point. DDFC has no players live. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds left on the clock for the side of the Bonk Boys to flip this round. But DDFC has so much cap time, I think they may just be able to flip it.
Yeah, Patrick is able to get Gumsy in the background, though, so down 5 from the side of the Bonk Boys as the spawn wave is going to be able to come in, so they're trying to get on the point, but an absolute insane bomb coming in from PK Beats, as well as the Pyro and Engineer collapsing, so they should be able to get this to the 5th and final round 2 all. Lex, JPEG getting the 3K, is still on the point. It looks like they might be able to hold it.
Windex
coming in from the right, as JPEG and Proc both go down, as well as Mr. Boomsnook. So another spawn wave coming in with the medic and the sniper and the pyro, but again, they're going to get absolutely demolished, almost taking the point back. JPEG almost is able to do it, but we're going to be going to the 5th and final round.
Yeah, this is map point for both teams right now. So whoever wins this will win the map here, and we'll be moving on to the next one. That was pretty nuclear from Bonk Boys right at the end there, and I do want to remind everybody, donations, we're pretty close to the goal, 300 away. If you have the money and you are able, !donate to get a link to the Tiltify. Highly encourage tossing some money the charity's way. We're really close, so any amount helps. Even the smallest amount of donations will add up over time. Going into this fight, though, does look like it's looking a little bit better for DDFC as they have 2 picks to open up this fight with. They are looking to push forward. I do believe that SpongeBob is able to find Brick here. Not sure where they are. They are on the roof here. Is going to be bumping Stabs here, so she's going to be out of the equation at least for a little bit. Pope going to be dying here. 2 PK beats and EKSD dying. Cypherlock will die, but MNX goes down to Windex.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's still mid, so neither team is capped yet, but MX Stein there is going to make it so Bonk Boys realistically should be able to cap this very, very easily, basically for free. So being at full ad on top of it, they should be able to get a pretty nice 4-hold set up. I mean, again, great from the side of Bonk Boys.
Yeah, it does look like they're on the side of Bonk Boys are going to be able to cap that point, get a little bit of time tick down. How long they'll be able to hold on to this is the question, though, because we do have Patrick getting ready to decloak, and as I say that, they do. Hasn't yet been spotted. Pyro is hunting for them, though, and Deputy 7 will find a pick onto Patrick, so Gumsy will be sitting comfortably without having to worry about any unforeseen threats taking them down. Brick going to take the 1v1 with Proct in that upper building and will succeed. Uber getting ready to be popped onto either Grape Juice or Windex here, but I think they want to milk it. I don't think they want to use it yet. They want to hold on and just hold on to this point, wait for DDFC to come into them. Does look like EKSD forced forward into a very disadvantageous position. Will go down for it, taken down by Grape Juice. Peanut going to win that fight with Fog there, and it looks like the Uber coming out from DDFC.
And yeah, no, again, great great plays all around. Sorry, I was doing something with the background there. I'm good though. So they're able to cap it. They're only down a minute in time, but considering the fact that they're at 70 disad, it's going to be very difficult to keep a hold of this point as Gumsy is going to be taking this Uber on the demo and heavy. Try to get through. MNX does go down to Windex here. Absolute, like, 6 down from the side of that amazing Uber push, and only losing Peanut in the process. A couple of players are trying to collapse from this side. Gumsy actually going down to 4 HP, so seems to be able to live somehow, and the Bonk Boys are going to be able to cap this, almost losing their medics there, so that could have been definitely a lot worse for them, but they are able to cap it and maintain that timeout.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I was kind of expecting Gumsy to die there, like you said, somehow living on 4 HP. Definitely pans out significantly better for the side of Bonk Boys, as, you know, keeping Gumsy alive there means that they'll be able to maintain control over that point for a little bit longer and increase their ad from pretty much 12 seconds to probably 30, closer to 40, maybe 50. Could get a minute worth of time here if they're very careful with it. SpongeBob going in from behind. Will be able to get Grape Juice with 1 HP left to boot. Cypherlock going to go down. So will Patrick. PK Beats going to be able to find the telly, but Proct nuking that nest. Bonk Boys really have nothing left to stand on here, and DDFC has an opportunity to push forward and take back all of that space that they lost previously and flip that point in their favor.
Yeah, now being at 30% ad and having all their players up, I'm expecting them to get pretty aggressive here, or at least that's what I would hope, as they seem to be still being pretty passive. Fog Ballista going down to Steps in the background, great step from her, and it looks like she's going to be able to live on top of it, so no sniper on this hold is going to be a lot easier to walk through here, not really having to worry about sightlines. Patrick does go down to the Uber saw, but it looks like a bunch of players are dying from the side of DDFC, going down 5 now. MNX is able to live, but Gumsy now has Uber ad as they try and swing over the point. Gumsy now has MNX only being at 85%. If they want to take this Uber ad, they possibly could, but it looks like DDFC is backing out entirely, and the Bonk Boys should be able to cap it. Brick was trying to get a little more than realistically he needed, and he goes down for it. Fog Ballistic also going down, so Bonk Boys are able to cap it. Ubers are also happening on point, so it's going to be a solo on JPEG. Heavy swinging around, trying to see if he could get anything, but isn't really able to get much more than the engineer. Bunch of picks happening. Grape 2's having a better Uber. Gets MNX, and a bunch of stuff was happening there, so lots of players down on both teams, but it looks like DDFC might be able to hold on to this. Gumsy is possibly going to go down.
What?
The soldier,
how does Gumsy live here?
Only at 20 HP, that was absolutely insane from the side of Gumsy, not dying to the soldier.
I really cannot believe Gumsy's able to walk away from that alive. They should be in the respawn queue right now. I think part of it was because Proct went for the melee as soon as they hit that rocket. I don't know if they didn't have anything loaded or not, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Brick gonna die. So will Grape Juice. It does look like 23 seconds left on the clock for Bonk Boys to take home this round. But DDFC is saying, no, no, no. I wave my little finger at you and say, I want this round to go a little bit longer. Patrick taken down by Stab. She's going to find the final shot to take them down. Fog will die to Peanut here, so no pit classes really alive for the side of DDFC as they look to try their hardest to maintain control of the objective here.
Yeah, so we'll see. They are down a minute in time here, so they really need this Uber exchange that's going to be happening soon to go in their favor. SpongeBob going down is going to make that a little more difficult as the Uber's coming out through Grape Juice, walking around, getting onto the demo. MNX is able to use those, so they should have a better, longer Uber, but we'll see if they're able to get any picks in the background. Patrick trying to get a stab onto Gumsy, but doesn't seem to be able to convert it, as the Bonk Boys are still going to be trying to push this. They are down by 4, though, so they're going to have to take a second to regroup. And, yeah, I mean, Ubers definitely went relatively well for the side of DDFC, still being able to maintain point and keep the pressure up. So Fog Ballistic does win SVS, though. So Peanut's going to be down here for that push. It's definitely going to be more difficult. And yeah, they're kind of having to cower in the corner for a second here.
Yeah, it looks like DDFC has kind of backed themselves into a corner with how many players they're losing, trying to make something happen here. It looks like they're going to lose pretty much everybody. MNX is going to go down here, and so will Patrick. This is... I don't want to say it's over because it's not over just yet. DDFC still has an opportunity if they're fast enough to get on the point. They still have 2 players alive to get some cap time. They need to get on the point now, though, if they want to. JPEG is the only one walking forward. Fog Ballistic tries. The Wii Remote Menace goes down, though, and he's not able to get any noticeable cap time. And the Bonk Boys will win map 1 a crisp 3-2. This is going to be a very competitive series. I honestly think we are going to be seeing a third map.
Yeah, I was going to say extremely close game, going down to the wire, basically every single one of those rounds. So, a very, very close game. Nail biter there, trying to bring up the logs for a moment. Looks like we might also be taking a couple-minute break soon, my understanding. But yeah, top frag is going to be JPEG 61-17, and then Grape Juice going 47-16. So definitely the battle of the heavies.
Oh yeah, I mean, with JPEG having 533 DPM as well, 61, 19, and 17. I mean, like you said, very heavy centric kind of gameplay here that is going on. Very much a heavy focused game. But interestingly enough, the second highest DPM is actually Windex, which I'm not really surprised because we saw a lot of just nuclear plays, a lot of pipes getting thrown that just find their way onto someone's head. Rollers doing their work as well, and those stickies, you just got a lot of effective bombs as well. But that will do it for Neotropic. We are going to be throwing it to a short break, probably 5-ish minutes. And yeah, we will see you in just a bit.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the match that's going on right now between we have Bonk Boys here, and excuse me, sorry, I immediately just choked on the second team. I'm sorry about that. But we have the two teams here. It was a bit of a back and forth on the last game, pretty close. We had Bonk Boys clutch up there at the end, and so we're coming here onto map 2. I think this one's gonna be close. Both teams here, like, I mean, there was just that little last like 20 seconds there at the end that was able to like have everything finish up between like Doki and the Bonk Boys. So what do you think that we're gonna have on this map? Anything you're looking out for?
Honestly, with the way these two teams just played their last Koth game, this first point is absolutely held like it's you are holding with advantage on a Koth map. So I am expecting DDFC to put up a very strong defense. The real question is how they'll respond to what I'm assuming will be a very fast shove from Bonk Boys, because Bonk Boys, in trying to break the holds that DDFC had, they would pretty much just throw themselves in, either with or without Uber. They would maybe send some kind of, the infamous like 7-man sack and try to take down the beam, or they would kind of just get away with Stabs being able to get in. She's been very influential in finding her way behind and trying to get things done. Before this starts, I would just like to really emphasize the importance of getting your donations in now. We're pretty much right there, 300 away. If now is the time to donate, or if there is any time to donate, it is now. You do not want to, chance, waiting a little too long, thinking that the campaign will run for longer than you imagine, and then it closes before you're able to put in your money. So if you're able and you want to, link in the bottom right, QR code in the top left, !, donate in chat to get a direct link to the Tiltify campaign.
Yeah, I mean, with everyone that's in chat, if everyone right now chipped in $5, we would directly make it right over the goal. So make sure to check out that link. All right, we're readying up here. I'm interested to see how Doki here like positions themselves. And let's see here. Let's see if so Gumsy right now is on crits. So I guess they're just gonna want to take this really fast around the corner here. But we'll see how this works.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the meds on this map, when they run their crits, they either run crits to set up their traps or they don't. And when they run crits, they tend to just not swap off because it is such a long run back to the spawn. I mean, it probably is possible for them to rebuild that Uber if they swap the stock.
Very interested to see how this ends up turning out, because Bonk Boys, they're on, oh wait, did I see a Medigun swap? Okay, there was a Medigun swap. Okay, that was a fake out crits at the beginning. I was gonna say, like, if they're trying to push with crits here, we have Doki with stock Uber, and if you have stock Uber, you don't take triple damage when you take 0 damage. So all right, so let's see how everyone rolls out here. Grape Juice rolling up quick. They're all going in for the sack here. All just trying to go in for the med. I am pretty sure, like, maybe they'll get the gun here if they're lucky, but it seems like Doki's able to hold really well. All right, everyone else is going down on the side of blue. Gumsy's out. Gumsy uses... No one's there, and Gumsy just runs in.
Yeah, Gumsy had... I mean, probably just running forward to see if they can find anything, like spot.
I think Gumsy thought that there were more teammates ahead, and there just wasn't anyone there.
Yeah, they had no teammates with them to grab onto and try and have something come out of it. So Gumsy not quite able to find anything. Stabs will get spotted. She will get taken down by Mr. Boom. Nice pipe from them. Peanut gonna get taken up by
Cypher using the Thompson on blue?
Oh yeah, he's been on the Thompson since last game, I believe, doing his rat engineer tech. But the Uber is going to come out from the side of DDFC. They are going to be running forward. Cypher Lot going to be going for the triple.
Let's see if this works.
Wait, it's a melee fight from the top rope with the steel chair. He gets taken down.
Crits on the heavy. Crits on JPEG. Is he going to catch anyone with this? PK. He gets PK beats in the end. but
Yeah, at the tail end of that, he doesn't get anyone with the crits, but PK Beats just finds himself caught out there. Will get taken down. Grape Juice trying to push forward, almost dies.
So no demo, just pushing up. We're just at the heavy v heavy here, and JPEG clutches it out, but it looks like is MX gonna be able to get away?
Yeah,
just they died at the afterburn.
Yeah, I do believe somewhere in that fight, Cypherlock was actually able to take down JPEG with the palms there, interestingly enough. So finally, we've seen some use for the palms and shaking up the meta. Maybe this will become the new Sixes and Highlander tech that people end up using.
The
but
brickest brick on the cart now, as we start to get cart pushers. Blue Bonk Boys are starting to like kind of get staged up here. Making sure like they're getting ready to push in, try to see if they can break this hold. I don't know. I mean, they should be able to push this. They have Uber, and Doki definitely does not.
Yeah, they should be able to push in.
They push in quite freely. They're not going to be able to catch MNX on the other team though. So next fight, Doki's going to have have quite a bit of Uber out here. I don't know if maybe we'll see a play out of Peanut here. Maybe we'll see a drop. Maybe we'll stalemate for a bit. We'll see. But Fog Ballistic's going for a shot. He gets caught by Windex.
Yeah, the Wii Remote Menace not quite able to get a pick that is necessary to open things up for his team. So they will have to backpedal ever so slightly, but they won't have to backpedal too much.
Look at PK Beats and Stabs going. Both of these guys comboing from behind. PK Beats has the high ground, and Deputy just walking in from behind. They force the Uber. And Bonk Boys, they just need to back up. Just let this Uber kind of subside if they can. Keep Gumsy alive. And then re-push with Uber here in, I don't know, what, 5-10 seconds? You know, they have all the time in the world now.
Yeah, big rockets from Proc there. Going to be able to take down PK Beats there.
Maybe a clutch play.
Yeah, they're looking to rip this Uber in on the side of Bonk Boys. They're running forward, flashing both Windex and Grape Juice here. Windex is going to be going deep, finds the pipe onto Eminix here. This is huge. Taking her down is going to open up the door for Bonk Boys to be able to just kind of steamroll their way over this point and potentially get it through that the devious choke and get it down this hill into last. And set themselves up for a push.
That's not what you want to see as a Doki fan there. Mr. Boom getting killed there by PK Beats as we're rolling into last here. Getting a very, very aggressive on the side of Bonk Boys early.
Stabs is going for the stab and sap. True to their name. They get EKSD and they get Fog. They sap the sentry, but it doesn't go down. Still level 1 here, though. Cypherlock is putting in work, though, getting that cart very deep into last.
I mean... Let's see how things go here. There's gonna be like 60 Uber ad here for MNX. Let's see if they can kind of position themselves to be able to, get their level 3, get set up, and just wait for Bonk Boys see if they can deny them before they get in here. But Stabs is going in. He's sneaking around up here.
Stabs is trying to find her way in here, directly positioned under the heavy.
She might
One's right in front of him. Oh, she gets caught out there. That's just unfortunate, really. PK Beats will be able to find Patrick. Cyberlock and Brick both going to be going down here to the hands of SpongeBob, but I think SpongeBob kind of runs forward and finds Grape Juice. Will get taken down. JPEG trying to push up and push these players away from the stairwell, though, as DDFC is trying to hold on for dear life and milk out as much time as they possibly can before Bonk Boys decides they want to push in with the Uber that is soon to be up.
Brick here has been trying to keep the cart. He's just tapping the cart over and over, making sure it doesn't roll back. So that way they still have this cart pressure that they set up, a few minutes ago. I mean, that now it's even Ubers. They're going to see it. Oh, Stabs gets 2 stabs here. So Doki's going to be a little weak. They still have Uber, but the only one who's out here is Mr. Boom and a Sentry. I don't know if they're going to be able to have an effective Uber with MNX.
I think the most they can do here is really have somebody jump towards the cart. They Uber on top of it, try to make something happen. Pyro Uber, they're there just in time. It's right there on the point. It rolls back ever so slightly. Does look like EKSD going to go down here. Peanut going to be able to find the...
You still have a big player ad on the side of Bonk. If they run in here, this might be it. Here comes Deputy.
If Bonk Boys decide to just throw it in quickly, they could make this happen. They just need to go for a good collapse, but that window has since closed. They're down 4 players going in. A 5v a 5v, I believe 6 is probably not the best thing you can do, but now it's a 2v4 with players spawning in. The players on DDFC have a little bit longer of a spawn. They'll have less players up by the time. Actually, it'll be even. I don't really think it'll matter the player add or not. It does look like Bonk Boys, though, really needs to evaluate their strategy when trying to push into last.
While we're sitting here for a minute, we have 2 new donations, one from Birdman for $10. Thank you. Saying, it's not a lot, but hope it helps. And then we have 25 from Magma with a salute. So I'm not sure if he's saluting just Seasonalander in general, or if he's hoping for one of these teams to be able to pull out. I mean, we've had a good defense here coming out of Doki here on last, after being kind of pushed back over and over. But even Ubers here. I mean, a little bit of chaos up near the cart, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see what Bonk Boys are able. We will see what Bonk Boys are able to kind of craft up here. I think they're just waiting for Cypherlock or potentially waiting for their Uber to come online. They want to push in, but they don't want to push in too much. They don't want to overstay their welcome in this last. They do get this Uber. It's about over halfway done for the side of DDFC now, and they're going to counterpop relatively soon. I feel it in my bones. They're going to pop on Windex here. They're moving forward. JPEG going down. That's effectively a wipe there, yeah. I mean, 8 players dead. Right. Patrick being the only man alive. That is going to be Bonk Boys getting in 7 minutes 36. So that's the time to beat to get all 4 points. DDFC has got to make a good push through these next couple points if they want to take home the win and potentially take this to a 3rd map.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the change in positioning happens here. Setting up here on first, I feel like a lot of the teams have said so far that it has been difficult to defend on this map. But I think one thing that I've seen so far is that we've had, from a few of the games, it's kind of like if they lose first, a lot of the teams, they don't leave first to get set up on like the next points, and they've kind of, you know, been rolled and forced into like bad positioning. So we'll see if Bonk here leaves first early, or what they do.
Oh, the full team kill bind inside of spawn. They're using that rib tech. Oh yeah, love to see it. That I think they'll be able to get their Uber back in time. If they're not, that would be a little awkward.
They may go for the 4-man sack here, so it may not matter. Or that, well, I guess
that is true.
Like
that is true.
7-man sack, but you get my
the infamous 7-man, the infamous Highlander sack, as it is called. But the round will be starting here. They're not going to bring their beam out. At least I hope right off the bat. Patrick will be moving forward.
Stabs is watching here from above.
Yeah, she's got that info on lock. They bring their beam out. Stabs tries to jump forward. Will get taken down by JPEG, though. Eyes open like a hawk, just watching everything, making sure that Stabs is not able to. A
little bit of different sentry positioning by Cypherlock. I don't know if Doki's going to expect it to be in the same place as before, but it is in a little bit of lower ground here, so I don't know if that's going to help them or not.
Well, with the sentry being lower there, I think it might make it a little bit easier to spam, but the way that DDFC will probably end up pushing,
it's down
on the direct hit, 2 rockets from Proc, going to be able to take it down very quickly. JPEG going to be able to find the dispenser. You know that means you have to hold W into the enemy team now. JPEG playing up on that height. You're just getting a lot of damage out. Patrick is in behind.
He's going to get caught here. Grape Juice is gone.
Yeah, Grape Juice gone. Patrick drew a lot of eyes as well. Is going to get chased down by Deputy 7 through that corridor. Is going to meet JPEG and the entire enemy team. The pan from Mr. Boom going to be able to take down Deputy 7, and that is going to be a very fast point cap from the side of the DFC in about a minute.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we didn't see an Uber come out of Gumsy. There was very little, like, a little bit of them contesting there. They can re-push here right. They see MNX, and they want to get that med kill. They might get it. 46-34. They're down. Now they're going to have Uber ad here for the next, push coming out of Doki. This is exactly what I was talking about maybe trying to leave early. Them losing 5 players here does not help, but, they're trying to get set up on second before Doki pushes in. We'll see if that's successful for them or not.
I do want to point out, Cypherlock has a tele exit set up behind the entirety of DDFC. If he's able to set up that entrance, it might net them a few cheeky kills, but time will tell if that's going to be successful or not. We do have Patrick in behind. Stabs is going back to try and meet him. Peanut will go down. Boom, going to be able to find that pick. But their nest is still pretty set up here on the side of Blanc Boys. They're looking to hold this point for as long as possible. The cart is pretty much right in front of the cap here, so any amount of movement of the cart, or even making sure it just doesn't roll back, is going to be super beneficial. Sentry almost goes down. Proc going to be peeking in, trying to take it down, but it's going to get out-healed. But no, I stay corrected. It's going to go down. The banner does get popped by, I believe that's going to be procced as well, trying to make sure something can happen. Sorry, not procced.
That's the cap.
Yeah, that's going to be the cap there. PK, I stand corrected, going to be the one popping that Uber as this team tries to scramble their way out. But
oh, and
DDFC
here comes
only
the Uber.
has 4 minutes. Ooh, yeah, the Uber.
I don't know if Bonk wants to kind of retreat and set up here on third. It looks like they're trying to now. I wasn't sure. I saw Grape Juice there trying to contest for a little bit longer before he got Ubered in on, but it looks like the team is finally starting to back up. I'm trying to take a look here to see if we can get, if Viperlock's going to be able to set up in time, but it looks like his team is going to try to hold a little bit forward, kind of slow down the plays coming out of Doki, you know, force them to earn the ground that they're taking there. But oh, and Bina gets taken.
Yeah, I do hate to interrupt the flow of the game for a moment, but I do want to point out a couple donations, though. Gray dropping 60 clams, $200 to go. Let's break our goal. Any amount helps. And Anonymous dropping the $25. Gotta echo Gray's sentiment here. Any amount of money will help us push towards the $2,500 goal. We are right there. Yeah, Stabs will be able to pick up JPEG there. PK Beats goes down as well, and so will Windex. So 3 players down on the side of the Bonk Boys. They're going to have to fight tooth and nail for this to really have anything go down.
Here comes the battalion out of
finding their way in behind.
I think that's a stuffed Uber.
Yeah, that is going to be a pretty stuffed Uber, all things considered. Cypherlock going to be able to find 2 there, and it's going to be Grape Juice finding Fog as well. It does look like DDFC going to have to pull back and regroup. They've only got 3:18 left on the clock to make something happen right now. This is very important for them. You know, they have to make this happen. Otherwise, Bonk Boys is going to win the second map, and that will be the end. They'll take home first. You know, they'll win the second map. And a little bit of a donation incentive from Gray. If we get to 2,500, giant sea lion clapping gif if we reach 2,500. Take up the whole screen. I think that's a worthwhile incentive. But Patrick is in behind, looking to decloak at some point, potentially playing Calm Spy for the time being, just trying to spot. Fog Ballistic will win the SVS with Peanut. The Wii Remote reigns superior. Fog Ballistic will go down to PK Beats, and the Sentry goes down by Stabs. Patrick going to be able to find Windex. Grape Juice dying as well. Gumsy gets the assault onto Patrick, though.
Oh, is Gumsy going to Uber? Tries to catch PK Beats, but all right, Gumsy's trying to leave. Will he get caught by Proct? Thinking about it, holding onto the Uber.
They're matrixing over these rockets.
Oh
he
my!
gets
And the
Peanut instead. I don't. Gumsy's just matrixing over these rockets, jumping over them, and then Proct has to turn over, gets Peanut. I think Stabs is going to be able to get in and take down Eminix here, so there's no medic alive for the side of DDFC. This is going to give Bonk Boys a crazy amount of Uber ad. Yeah, they have to keep up this cart pressure because they only have a minute 50 left on the clock, and that is rapidly ticking down. Peanut is going to take down Fog Ballistic, so the Wii Remote does not win this SVS here. But we are getting very, very close to what could be the end. Bonk Boys looking to close this round out. We do have another donation coming in. Let me refresh my page here.
One from Anonymous for 25, and then another 50. Oh, that Anonymous was 25, and then we have another big 50 from Penny, who says, as someone who frequented hospitals with nothing but buy thumbs for most of it, let's get the kids some exciting things to look forward to. Keep going, DDFC. Go EKSD. Funny Pyro Man.
Realest donation I have ever heard of. I spent a lot of time in a hospital as a kid as well, so I understand what it's like to really only get by with your 2 thumbs and trying to make the best of it. DDFC going to try and go for some kind of push here, or maybe just getting caught out. It's going to be Nuclear from the side of Bonk Boys, though, as they are able to hold down the fort. 47 seconds left on the clock, rapidly ticking down. Every second counts here.
It's worth noting for anyone who's watching that there is no overtime. If they touch the cart after it hits 0, it's too late. So they really need this Uber.
Oh, Eminix drops! Oh no, this is horrible.
That may be it. But we'll see. Do we have some kings of Salvage City coming out of DDFC? I don't know if these respawn times.
Oh no.
That's a wipe.
MX dies again. Cypherlock spawn camping gets the pick onto MNX. This is over for DDFC. I mean, there's nothing they can really do here. They don't have the players to push towards the cart. And unfortunately for DDFC fans, for the time that is left in the game, that is going to be Bonk Boys taking home the payload map of Divulgence 4-3, securing themselves the first place winning spot for Seasonalander 2025 spring. I mean, well played by them, honestly. Just that's all I can really say. Just well played.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing there was them just pulling back early on each of the points there. Maybe they had like a feeder here or there, but they were able to, just set up on the next point. Maybe each individual point wasn't as good as the other team, but when you add them together, it adds up over time. But we'll see how the players are feeling here when we get them in here for an interview. But also, while we're here, we are still very, very close to the goal here. So if you're watching right now and you've got some pocket change to throw in here, we're only a little bit less than $125 away to be able to reach our goal. So get that link and see if you can chip in like $5. And if everyone else here did that, then we would be way over.
Yeah, we would reach our goal really, really fast. And as we say that, big $5 coming in from MNX. Let's see if there's a little message attached to that because this site refuses to update in time. They say so close to the goal, dropping 5 clams. Listen to MNX, y'all. We are so close to the goal. This is 120 clams away from reaching the $2,500 goal, and we could beat the goal for the amount of money raised for the previous charity for the Trevor Project. So getting money in now is more important than ever. Donation link in the bottom right, QR code in the top left, and the direct link is in the chat. Once again, we are $120 away. Pretty much everybody in here could throw like $3 at it now, and we would be reaching that goal pretty much instantaneously. But we do have some interviews lined up. Not sure who we're going to be interviewing just yet, but we will get those underway relatively quickly.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I think we're getting ready for our interview with Fog Ballistic and JPEG.
I do believe that is the case, but before we conduct the interview, before we kick it off, I just want to say we have breached the $2,500 goal. PK Beats dropping 20 clams, saying the goats, GG, and Anonymous with 120 to close it out and give $20 of wiggle room, saying I'm eating Oreos in a parked car. I hope those Oreos taste as good as the $120 you just tossed to the Starlight Children's Foundation. But that said, I think it's time we get this interview with JPEG and Fog Ballistic underway. I think first and foremost, how did that last match feel to play? Obviously, you did not take home first, but getting second, and you guys put up a really, really strong fight. I mean, you guys, you pushed till the absolute last man. I mean, what was that like? What were comms like? What was the atmosphere with that final push on Divulgence?
Chaotic and very tense.
Oh yeah,
That's to say the
definitely.
least.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all
Comms were
trying
all
our
over the
hardest.
place.
Mhm. I mean, I can only imagine you guys have less than a minute to try and cobble something together and throw yourselves in. Were you guys able to think of like a strategy to get in with that little time left, or was it all kind of just like every man for himself, get to the cart, whatever you do?
I would say.
I definitely
do you wanna
called that
go?
I definitely called that we had one last good push, and I told everyone to start walking. But then it was the saddest thing to watch. Just I turn around and there's a sniper dot right on my medic's torso.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so sad. I
So
forgot there's a sight line
unfortunate.
there.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a very nice place to push into because you don't know if someone's watching it. I mean, granted, you kind of have to assume when you go in that somebody's watching it, but it's also like that is not a forgiving angle to push in from. I mean, you can't see anything when you walk in there until it's too late.
Yeah.
So,
You've got to choose between going right and not seeing anything yourself, or going left and having everyone see you.
mhm.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I would say the sniper was definitely our hardest opponent to go against. It's soldier and demo as well when they were bombing us in, and spy once in a while, but not too often. And also the engineer coming behind us at our spawn and getting our medic like at the last 30 seconds. That was very stressful.
I guess the Wii remote, the high tech Wii remote technology could only take us so far.
Yeah,
Well,
it
the
only took
high-tech
us
Wii
the one
remote.
day.
Well, the
Yeah.
high-tech Wii remote, it got you to. I mean, it
Got us
got you
here.
all the way to second.
I
So I
mean,
mean,
True.
Second
All
place
things
isn't
considered, I
anything
think
to scoff
it's
at.
pretty good.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I know what I have in mind already for next Seasonalander. So if I am invited to
Ooh.
next Seasonalander, everyone stay tuned because I have another thing up my sleeve.
Ooh, getting
Yeah, so Fog is going to
ominous,
be. I'm just kidding. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, no, come on, you can't spoil it. But hey,
leaking right at
it's
the end of
another
the event.
it's another funky way that no one else has ever played before, to my knowledge. So I'm excited to
Ooh,
deploy it.
inventing a brand new meta, even newer than the Wii remote tech. I see.
Oh yeah, no,
All
some would
right.
say older, as they would say.
Ooh,
Older than no Wii remote. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
thinking we ball mouse maybe, but we'll find out.
That was actually a suggestion from one of my friends, actually, funny enough. So maybe I'll look into that at some point.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what inspired you to go Wii remote sniper full time on both days.
So I had the idea, I think back in February, and I was talking about it on stream with viewers. I don't think anyone like I saw a video of someone playing Fortnite with a Wii remote, and I was like, I'm gonna do that with Team Fortress 2. So I was like, okay, sweet. And then 2 weeks later, someone beat me to the punch by Breadman. He beat me to the punch by making a full in-depth video similar to Solar Light's controller video, and I reached out to Breadman, got their code from them, and then I got a message from Ian that Seasonalander is coming up soon. So I was like, all right, I might as well play Seasonalander with a Wii remote. It'll be a very entertaining video.
You know
All
what?
right.
Fair enough. Thinking of that content. Well, I think I'm out of questions. Do you have anything to ask these
I
fine
just wanted
folks?
to ask what you guys' like general strategy was for today. looking at, like, for example, if you look at the logs, it seems like both teams kind of rallied around their heavies a little bit, but more so on your team. I mean, on Neotropic, JPEG coming in with 533 DPM, 61 kills, 17 deaths. Like, or was that like even when you went to payload, was that kind of your strategy? Like, what were you guys thinking?
Yeah, we kind of knew that both me and Grape Juice were going to be the ones who were going to get tanked the most, and so we figured that if we can kill the other players better than they can kill our players, we could we could uh, we could just snatch the victory. But I suppose
Yeah.
not.
The
Just try
Putin
to get in
scores.
off of the raw amount of kills alone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right. Well, do you guys have any shout outs?
I would say shout out to Seasonalander in general and all of my viewers that have came by from my personal Twitch chat and came to watch the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to all the people who organized this. Shout out to everyone who donated, and shout out to my team. You guys
Oh
did
yeah.
great. And shout out Grape Juice. He's got the calls, but I got the DM. I'm just more of a DM kind of guy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I want to congratulate you guys on getting second place, and of course, thank you for playing in Seasonalander this time around, getting some folks in and potentially getting some people over, having them send some money the charity's way, and of course, providing an awesome game to cover and give us that extra bit of time to squeeze out those last couple donations. Yeah, just again, congratulations on second place. But I think that will do it for the interview with Doki Doki Fight Club. We are going to be moving on relatively quickly to be interviewing Grape Juice and Peanut of the winning team here, the number one team, the Bonk Boys.
All right.
Victory.
We did it.
How does victory feel?
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I love winning.
I've never lost. That's enough.
We know, Pino. We know.
I'm
We
trying-
were
I'm
familiar
trying-
with your little Mac.
I'm sorry.
Peanut, I can't believe you would bully that man using the Wii remote so much.
I think it's really cool. I'm not like even in the pregame stuff before the matches start. I would always go to him. I would just see his like sniper rifle like cheering like up and down. Like that's so awesome.
Shaking like
Yeah,
crazy.
it's so cool.
Then you
I
get
think
into
it's
the
really
match,
cool.
it's just no mercy. You just kept. You just
He
kept owning him over and
he
over.
did get me a few like he still got me a few times, but I also know just even with the reverb like there's still the threat of that long range.
I didn't realize
scared.
that he was going to use the Wii remote for the second day because every time headshot, I'm like, nice man, good job, like fuck yeah, buddy, like headshot, that's beautiful. I'm on Pootis, I can like peek things now.
Oh, he's crazy.
And then I saw in the pregame of the payload map that he's like jittering around. And I'm like, oh, this guy's on the Wii remote. It's not.
Yeah.
You realize something was up.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys weren't trembling in your, quaking in your boots in sheer fear of what the Wii remote menace would have been able to do to you guys. I mean,
That's why I was so scared. Just the thought of it.
I was
alone.
afraid because I just fogged ballistic on sniper, and I see that guy in Jaybird's stream all the time, like sniping Jaybird sometimes, and it's like, I don't know, this fog ballistic guy and sniper and a Seasonalander. I'm a little bit afraid of him. I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, moving on to some actual questions about the game. Like I said earlier, or like I asked earlier, how does victory taste? You said it feels awesome. How does it feel to win an event tied to this this charity? How does it feel to pretty much be? I'm trying to think of a way to say it, but for lack of a better term, I guess I would say the face of it here, because when people think of this stream, they think of, who was the big one for this charity. They're gonna think of the Bonk Boys. They're gonna think of the Peanut Sniper owning the Wii Remote Menace. They're gonna think of the Grape Juice Heavy mowing everybody down. I mean, I guess, how does it feel to take first place? Because those games felt very, very close. I know you said victory felt good, but I guess what was it like leading up to that point? How were comms? How was your team strategy?
It was
like
really intense on what was the cough map called? Neo something, I forget already.
Neotropic.
Neotropic. It was insane. we like lost those. I think we went down 2-0.
No, it was
And
it was the first
it was
one.
really intense. I'm like, guys, like, listen, less deaths when we have the point. Keep our medic alive when they have the Uber. Like, we're gonna be okay. Like, less deaths. Hoop up. You know what I mean? Like, we're chilling, and then we came back. We reversed 3-0 them, and that felt really beautiful. It was really
Yeah.
intense on that third round. And
So
that
I
was
gotta
a-
ask then, with
Yeah.
you guys, I asked the other two this. What did you guys have like a general strategy? JPEG was saying that like they were just going for like the Hoovy wars where the heavies soak up all the heals and do all the damage. But did you guys have a different strategy in general or on one particular map, either Neotropic or Divulgence?
there was no strategy. I think for the Koth map, I think
For the Koth, yeah.
we briefly thought about like fighting the house, and then we didn't on the first round at all, and that's like how we sort of lost it.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, we just wanted to put our medic in the little shack where like the heavy like head glitch shutter door is, you know what I mean, and just like tank
Yeah.
the Pudis. I guess it was like Pudis Wars. I think we had the same strategy. But on the Koth map, we just like we played it yesterday too. Not Koth, sorry, the payload map. We played it yesterday too. And yesterday we played like a crazy like crits strat out of the spawn door. That was like our funny strat, and we decided against it for today because we thought it just wouldn't work a second time.
Mhm.
And
I did
but
notice
beyond that,
that.
it was just roll. Like on offense, on payload, roll, and then on defense, I don't know. We had such a good time that I was just calling like, there's lots of time to hold each point. Like, just like
Mhm.
keep it.
I
Chill.
did notice that in comparison to the Doki Doki, you guys pulled back a lot. Like once you guys they it seemed like they were starting to take first, you guys left. They looked like they were starting to take second, that you guys left. Like you were
Yeah.
you're like, okay, we have time. This is okay. We can back up.
Yeah, because as soon as you lose like one important person, then the house of cards falls. Like if we lose our NG and you can't put up a sentry gun on the next point, like now we don't have a sentry. If we keep our demo too close and he dies, then it's all every class. Yeah, the invite is the invite tryhardism in me was seeping out. I just told everyone to back up and just hold the next point.
See.
Mm.
Okay,
Do you want to add anything to that, Peanut?
For both games,
Yeah.
like my experience with it. I feel like after we lost the first round on COD, that's when I felt like I locked in, but also the general like energy for the team change of like, okay, we gotta lock in. Like we're down 1-0. We didn't try to take house at all. And for me, I was learning sniper sightlines. Like the big house in the middle that was like facing each other was the main one, and that's what helped me in round 2 before Scout started solo running at me, and I was like, oh well, I can't stay here anymore. And then I started having to like experiment and go to different places. But it was a really close game for like both games. I feel like Payload, we were both on very similar times. I mean, like they still almost were able to get the card all the way through, and at the end, I just happened to have a fully charged shot, and I just happened to be looking at in the correct place that they were going, because
Shut
if they
down
could save
the big
the
last push there.
yeah, if they went left side, I didn't have that, but it was like I don't know if they knew I was watching middle and right. Like I'm not sure if they knew I was there, but I didn't like in my head. I'm like, if they go left, I'm low key like I just gotta dip and then hope the Uber's not too bad. But I got pretty lucky there. It was nice.
All right. Well, do either of you two have any shout outs?
Shouts to Peanut for hitting crazy shots.
Thank
Shout
you.
to
I
PK
had
Shout to PK Beats for making the bombs fat.
Good one.
True. That guy was delivering nukes like it was nobody's business.
It was actually insane.
He was doing really good. He was doing really. I would look up. I see like 7 kill streaks. I'm like, what? What is he doing? Yeah. I would just say shout out to the team in general too. Like, shout out Bonk Boys, BB.
Bonk Boys.
Yeah,
Of
shout out
course,
Bonk Boys.
Of course.
Our full name, whatever our full name is, it's too
Full
long. I
full
forget it
full
every time.
government name. Can't do that. Gonna join
Alright.
the Bonk Boys.
Well,
Alright.
I think we have to wrap up the interview there. Congratulations, big congratulations on getting first place and winning the Seasonalander Cup. Or I guess I shouldn't say cup, but winning the Seasonalander charity event. Big thanks for coming out and playing as well. And thanks again for creating such a great set of games to cover and providing a lot of entertainment, not only for us, but for those watching at home.
Yeah, shout out
That
to the viewers.
yeah.
Shout out to everyone who donated.
True.
Yeah, shout outs to that.
That's what we
Absolutely.
should. That's what we should really should be donating.
You guys
or
are the real
shouting
champions.
out.
We're being for real winners.
Yeah.
I would like to add, before we head out, we did have one last donation coming in from Bikini Heaven, AWA, with $1.70 saying, "Whoever made it not end in .69, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. GG's."
Fair enough. Fair enough. But
Mhm.
yeah, that will conclude this interview. And in that same vein, that will conclude Seasonalander. Well, actually, not yet, because I do think we have Ian here who wants to get a few words out before we wrap up this stream. So the floor is all his.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you all for surpassing anything we've ever donated in Seasonalander, even if it's just by a tiny bit. Any donation, big and small, has been incredibly helpful, and we appreciate you all for stopping in. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired from a long day. I put a lot of work into this, and I can't thank enough for Dynam and Cyber for also being able to help on day one, especially. I was out of the state, actually. I had to attend a funeral for my grandfather. So it was a matter of just making sure that we had everything organized in advance. I didn't really know until like a week before, and I'm like, oh no, we need to get this set up. So like the way everything worked out was phenomenal. I appreciate everyone for donating. I appreciate everyone for cooperating and playing. And I will say we are going to be looking into doing a winter one. That one I'm hopefully certain on. We'll just have to make sure my life schedule is in place, of course. And donations will be open until the end of April at least. So if anyone wants to get a couple more bucks in, try to pad out that whole the whole donation chain, that would be awesome. We
Share with your
almost hit.
friends.
Yeah, share with your friends.
Get
Share
to
with everyone.
$3,000.
Yeah, my girlfriend even texted me saying, "Hey, I donated." I don't know if you saw. She was anonymous apparently, but yeah, I appreciate that genuinely, wholeheartedly. But yeah, I think that's gonna about do it. We are right on time, and I appreciate everyone for stopping by. We are going to be rating Entropy. Please be quiet. Do not spoil it. She was the one who worked, if you weren't aware, worked on Neotropic, the map that you are seeing on screen. I think right now on like while we're flying through the beach map, basically. She worked on that by hand and genuinely deserves more recognition than I feel like she gets. Genuinely. That's about it for me. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Shout out to Ian, by the way.
Thank you, Ian.
It's a lot of work. Thank you.
Yeah.